So the next time you see me is when I'm gonna go ahead and decide if I'm gonna throw them in a foil pan or if I'm gonna, I can't say the word. I don't wanna taste anything else except for Uncle Steve's rib. Oh God. Giving us the real barbecue infinito. But once they start giving me that crack look, then I'm gonna, obviously we all know how hard it is when you're on the grill and it's wintertime. It's snowing out, but you're the one that's doing it. You got these two guys, look at how they got it. They ain't doing nothing. Talk about an easy job. Gosh, I gotta be on a grill. I might burn my hand or something. Shoveling? We used to do that in about 20 minutes back in the 70s. But yeah, winter wonderland. We get famous guys that come through and they've got four-wheelers and they decide that they're gonna help you out.
Now you're earning your own $20.
Right, they're earning their $20. The fun of winter and expensive toys, right? That's neighbor Clint. He's a lifesaver. These two clowns, look at them. They're already county workers. They already know how to lean against a shovel. Take the wings in.
That looks amazing.
They're very spicy.
I don't want them. I don't like spicy.
I know.
I know you're just a little girl and I have to wipe your face
I
the whole time.
I got this shit off.
I have to treat you like a baby, but
I'm gonna need some beer. Be my drink. Hurry up. Why is this thing shutting off? What's going on? That's one crazy bug. Well, it's the truth. Oh, I don't care. It's funny. I know. Everybody's pissed because I didn't give you the money shot of the brisket squirting all over the squeen. Squeen? Oh, yeah, squeen. It's a squeen, Jeffrey. It's a squeen. And one great thing about cooking the ham in the, Jesus, or green bean cast. So much easier just to reheat it in a pit. Well, because you don't want to meese? When you're cooking at night, the weirdest things pop in your head. Stuff like, there's a skeeter on my, knock it off. There's a skeeter on my, knock it off. There's a one, there's a dozen. You can hear the buzzing. There's a skeeter on my Peter, knock it off. You can sing along if you want to.
We've all been there. Standing alone by our pits while it's raining, just praying we can light a match so we can have a fire. Our main goal in life is to be that husband, that dad, that hero that can provide our circle of life one incredible cook that will satisfy even the worst hunger for Q. So get ready. Ricer is here to bring you peace and end your struggles of failure. He is here to help you amplify your backyard barbecue fun. Oh, can somebody please tell me who wrote this crap? Welcome to Dead Broke BBQ's Tavern Talk. Now here's your host, Ricer.
Hey everybody, how's everybody doing tonight? I'm gonna tell you, this whole coronavirus thing is a drag. It sucks. I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, having to go to Walmart and not see anything on the shelves sucks. But on the other part of it, I guess, well, some people are making money right now for a little bit. I just hope that the garbage cans in about a month aren't filled up with rotten food. That'll suck. So hopefully everybody that's buying something is planning on eating it too, because I'm gonna tell you, haste makes waste. And so far, this whole thing is actually very serious, obviously, and we should take it serious. But on the other hand, man, what a dampener on life. I tell you, really, everything that you're trying to do right now is all because somebody might sneeze on you, or you might grab a toilet, dish. Whoops. Just hold on, Brian, for a little bit, buddy. So, anyways, but yeah, everything else that's kind of been going on in the world right now has been kind of a stinker. But we can probably get through it and all. But for the time being, we're just going to have to hold on to our britches and go from there. We'll see what's going to happen in hopefully another week. In my opinion, I think in another week we should... God dang. Brian's really insistent on calling me here, so I'm just going to put him on. But anyways, so not sure why he's calling yet, but that's all right. So I wanted to talk a little bit about, we'll get Brian, he's hanging off in the background here, but Bryan Crawford is actually a guy that's kind of a rare YouTuber, if you ask me. He is obviously, he does, and when I get you on here, I want everybody to listen because you do sound like you're coming through a little bit hot, Brian. So, but Brian's one of the rare breeds that he's a competition guy. He makes his own barbecue rubs and spritzes and different things like that. He also has a barbecue store, Barbecue Online, and he started a YouTube channel. So he's, I mean, you can, whoops, wrong screen. I got everything screwed up tonight, so let's get here. But anyways, so this is his channel, and you can kind of see a little bit of it, but unfortunately, guys, I'm all out of kilter. So I'm going to escape right back out of there. And we're going to get Brian in. We'll just call him in. So throw your questions out there. But again, I'm not going to probably pay a lot of attention to what you're actually saying during the chat because it's his turn to talk. So we'll go right over to Brian right now. Hey, how you doing, Brian?
Good. How about yourself?
I'm real good. You are on. I don't know what we had going on there, but yeah, it kept on calling me back and all that. I wanted to get you on when I was ready to call you. But so, anyways, I kind of introduced you a little bit and kind of told everybody about yourself a little bit. You know that you're kind of a rare YouTuber and a rare barbecue guy because you kind of hit all the aspects. You got a store, you got your barbecue rubs and spritzes. You're a YouTuber now, and your competition. So I kind of know that, and I've kind of told everybody, but why don't you tell us a little bit more about yourself, like your former job, your entertainment, and some of your hobbies that you like to do?
Well, before I got hooked on the barbecue life, I used to ride Harleys. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, can everybody hear him all right? Or is he a little low?
I used to ride Harleys and do a lot of the things that everybody does, and then I got hooked on barbecue, started watching Barbecue Pitmasters, figured out that there was such a thing as competition barbecue, and started watching people like yourself on YouTube and trying to emulate the recipes I'd see on YouTube or Barbecue Pitmasters. And
sure.
Then I thought, since everybody told me my barbecue was the best thing since sliced bread, it must be. So I thought I'd go out and prove it in a competition, and then that was when I was in for a rude awakening. Find out that my barbecue was not the best thing since sliced bread.
Right.
Competition barbecue and backyard barbecue, it's quite a bit of difference. You really have to learn the curve of competition barbecue, and for me it took several years.
Okay.
So I've been competing for about 6 years now, and the last couple of years I've finally had some pretty good success.
Do you have those other headsets that you tried out, or is that the same ones?
It's the same one.
Same ones, huh? You got some like noise going on, but we might have to just roll it a little bit. But because it was only when you called it. Yeah, it's more of a white noise, like a fan or something. You got something blowing in the background, or?
No, just me.
All right. Well, that's all right. Keep on going, bud. We'll just keep on going. I need to invest in a better system. Need to win a championship or something. Tap your mic, Greg says.
That always works. If you hit it hard enough.
Yeah, tap it a little bit, but that's all right. Sounds like his computer mic is picking up. So.
Is that better?
Nope, not working.
There's some switch here. I don't know what it does.
Yeah. Is it real loud, Irina? Or whoever's trying to come and tell me something. All right. So, anyways, It's his computer mic, he says. He thinks you have your computer mic on or something. You know, technical difficulties with live Skype calls can be a little tricky sometimes. And I've even seen the granddaddy of them all, Greg, have a couple issues once in a while. Unbelievable that he has an issue with all his practice.
Just the fact that the computer mic is.
Yeah, because we didn't have that when we tested a couple days ago, so it's a something going on. Your Skype setting, change it to the USB, because I don't think your headset is actually even on. I think it's picking up off your computer. So
where's the USB on the Skype setting?
And the Skype on the mic part, have mic and audio. Right next to like an external mic, it should say. Well, I'm going to read through the chat here a little. Let's just see if you can find that and just say, I'll say hi to a few people. Hey, Kenneth. Hey, Andrew. Kevin's in there from Comparison Cooking. He'll be on a little later. We've got John from 1984 Barbecue, and we got Pickles Barbecue. Charlie himself. Steven's in here. Terry, how you doing, bud? Thanks for dropping in. The Dog Father. And then we got Chris from Eastwood Farms. Holy cow. I am graced by his presence in the chat today. Skip is in here. Awesome. Rick from Ricky's Food. Jake's in here. That's all right, man. I don't really know what we can do about it. If you can't. Your thing is plugged in, right?
Yeah.
There. Hey, whatever you just touched, it went away. So. Oh, you muted it, so. You muted it. I'm going to share this.
How's that?
There you go. There we go. Now we got it, buddy. All right, so we'll start over.
Difficulties.
Yeah, that's okay, man. It happens. We'll start over a little bit and just tell us a little bit more about, your what you're doing and how you got into it and all that.
Well, I just, like a lot of people, started watching Barbecue Pitmasters on TV and was really intrigued about the idea of competition, cooking different things I never had tried to cook before in my backyard. And next thing you know, I buy a rig and start showing up to these competitions and learn just how good I really wasn't. Competition barbecue can be pretty unforgiving, and you have to have pretty thick skin, especially starting off. For myself, at least, it took me a couple years before I really started having some success and figure out just exactly what the judges were wanting. But after a while, I finally started having some good success and having a good time and meeting everybody, what I like to call the barbecue family.
Sure. Yeah, and like being down in the Texas areas, obviously a lot of the competitions are pretty big down there too. You've got a lot of people that are hanging out at those. Not like maybe some of the ones in Wisconsin. I mean, they still have a decent attraction, but not like what I've seen down there. So, so you started doing all that. I mean, can you call yourself a champion? I mean, what can you call yourself, Bryan?
Well, I've called myself a champion on a couple of weekends at least. One thing about competition barbecue, for myself at least, you can go from hero to zero real fast. From week to week, you never know what's going to happen. I generally have success of some sort every week that I'm out there. And just this last year is I feel like I really turned the curve in the last year or so as far as having consistent calls and
sure.
Every weekend I feel like I'm a contender.
Okay.
Which I am.
Yeah. I mean, I see you in the Facebook things, and you're always very popular. I mean, you've got and you're hanging around with all the other like winners and the bigger groups, so that's pretty cool. 6 years you said, huh? 6 years about gold?
Yes, sir. Well, hanging out with other good cooks. Iron sharpens iron,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes we feed off each other, and a little friendly competition between friends always helps.
Right.
If you can't do well, you want your friends to do well, and vice versa.
Sure. I mean, like, and there's sometimes you just don't. You're exactly right. I mean, sometimes things just didn't work out that day. But if you got a good community and you're having fun, that's really what it's about.
Oh, yeah.
It's not always about winning. I mean, that obviously helps, but it's not always about winning. So,
Absolutely.
So at your store, what are some of the products that you like? Or, you sell at your store? I mean, are you just selling your rubs and spritzes and things, or do you got other things that you're doing there?
I have a wide variety of products in my store. I have almost 1,000 SKUs.
Oh,
So there's a lot of different stuff. Everything from rubs to not just mine. We carry Big Papa Smoker stuff, Cosmos, Butchers, Elk Creek, just Heath Riles, Killer Hogs. You name it. We have a lot of the real popular ones, Suckle Busters.
okay.
We have a wide variety of barbecue products and the sauces and injections to go along with them. But aside from that, we have the tools that you need, anything from just a spatula to a barbecue pit.
Right.
And we even have meat now. We have Hassel Cattle Wagyu beef, and
Okay.
that's been a great addition, especially since having them on board. I've discovered beef bacon.
Okay. Yep.
And I don't know where beef bacon's been all my life, but I'm just glad it's in my life now.
All right, that's interesting. Yeah, I mean, I've had venison bacon, but I think this is probably made a little bit different. But
This beef bacon is it's to die for. It's very good.
All right. Well, I'll have to see if I can check that out sometime. So, what kind of pits do you sell at the store? I mean, what brands are you running through your shop?
We got everything from just a simple kettle by Napoleon
Okay.
to Napoleon gas grills. We got Memphis Woodfire pellet grills, which are the Cadillac of pellet grills.
Yep.
Pits and Spits, smokers, grills, pellet grills, Kamado Joe, PK. Feel like I'm leaving somebody out, but we have a nice selection. Anything from a traditional offset to just a kettle to gas or pellets, we got you covered.
You got some type of a outdoor party like rig or something. I thought I saw.
I do, yeah.
yeah.
I got a couple different. I call that my battle wagon.
Your battle wagon. Okay.
That's the barbecue battle wagon. It's a
Alright.
fun cooker to cook on. Actually on that pit I got a Myron Mixon H2O 60 on it. So you can do a whole hog on it. It's kind of a fun to have around. It's fun.
Sure. So, obviously you're kind of big into the social media because you have your store and you have your YouTube now and your Facebook with all your other things that you've done with competitions and things. I've seen you share stuff. I mean, how's that kind of helped you? How's that helped you with your regular, your business?
Well, I originally started getting into the barbecue with my spritzes. And I wanted to come up with a line of products because, barbecue, in my mind, I felt like I could make a little side business to kind of help justify my barbecue addiction, kind of like the drug dealer sells pot on the side to help, cover his addiction, so I was selling barbecue on the side to help cover my barbecue addiction. And so that's how, I really started getting involved with social media and creating my YouTube channel just to kind of showcase how to use some of my products, especially the spritzes. Some people, it's funny because I'd get people, well, what do you do with it? Well, you spritz with it. It's a spritzer. But there, in their defense, there is a few other things I like to do with it. I like to use it in injections and wraps, and
Sure.
There's other things, but obviously spritzing is the
key.
Yeah.
So, like, out of your products, which is your most popular?
I'd say it's a toss-up between my Alamo Dust and my burnt beef.
Okay.
My rubs, those are real popular. Not to say my spritzes aren't popular. And my sauce, it just seems like some people are spritzers, some people aren't, and,
Right.
but everybody likes to use a good seasoning. So,
Yeah.
and generally speaking, once somebody tries my seasoning, they like it. It's because they're good.
Right.
And not only have I proved it on the competition trail, I've got lots of other pit masters across Texas that have proved it with their skills using my products. So,
well, and that's got to make you feel pretty proud when it's your label and your product, and people are winning with it. Obviously, it's got to fire you up a little bit.
I love if I can't win, to see somebody win that used my product. So that's always really cool.
So,
and it also inspires people to buy my product.
So when you were in competition, how did that kind of help you as a cook itself? Just you were a backyard guy, and then, you got inspired. But when you actually started going out on the circuit, how did that help you? How did it help you?
One thing about cooking in your backyard, and I'm sure you and everybody out there can attest to this, you have your friends over, they're drinking your beer, they're eating your food, they're telling you how great the food you just made them was because it didn't cost them anything.
Right.
So, I mean, when you're just in your backyard amongst friends, you think your backyard barbecue is the best because everybody keeps telling you that. And so you don't really strive to improve. But when you go out on a competition circuit and you think you're the best, and then you don't walk, then you're like, whoa, shit, maybe I'm not the best.
Right.
And so you figure out how to improve, and then you keep trying to figure out how to improve. You have to change this, tweak your recipes, and sometimes you have to throw the old recipe in the garbage and start from scratch. But you just keep trying and practicing, and then you finally get to something where, whoa, I'm finally on to something here. I'm starting to get out of my chair. I'm starting to walk, and so being able to actually prove that your barbecue is good and having success, that's when you know your barbecue is good. But if you have to strive to win, and you have to practice, and you have to try new things, and you got to stay on top of things. And so competition barbecue has really made my barbecue a lot better, and I think everybody out there that does competition barbecue, they're all phenomenal cooks, because to get past that curve, you can't miss a beat. You got to hit your marks. You can't mess up anything, or you won't walk. So. Right.
Well, I think you're going to have to send me a couple shakers so I can try that stuff out and get a video out for you too. And you can, because I think when you and I talked that one time, you said you do kind of put some other YouTubers up in your store. I mean, you're showcasing some other guys. You must have a playlist that you made or something.
Oh yeah. I mean, I got you on the playlist. I got Eric. He's on the playlist, and we got my friend Arnie. I got him up there. My good friend Bill Purvis. He's got a nice YouTube channel that I like to put on there. And then of course, How to Barbecue Right. Malcolm Reed. He's got a great channel that I put up there. There's several good ones I like to put up. Mostly either people, one, I know, or two, I carry their products in my store. So.
Oh, that's cool. When you started dealing with this, let's say the coronavirus thing here, how's that kind of affected your store right now? I mean, have you seen a little bit of a dip, or are you still okay, or?
Well, I've certainly seen a dip. There's, people just aren't getting out of the house, and what they are getting out of the house, they're not thinking barbecue products, they're thinking toilet paper and Clorox wipes, evidently, from what I understand. So I wish I had a roll of toilet paper I could get with every purchase. I'd be, they'd be lining out the door. But I keep waiting for the run on barbecue products to happen. People are stuck at home. They got a freezer full of food, and they're going to start wanting to cook some of it up. But it hasn't happened yet, and I don't know, watching the news, what's going to happen. It sounds to me like every time you watch the news, they just discourage people from leaving their house more and more and more. So it's a little disconcerting. I'm not the only one. I mean, everybody's a little disconcerted about
Right.
what their paycheck's going to be like in the near future.
Right.
So that being said, everybody go on my website, and you don't have to leave your house and order something.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, you've got a website, and have you seen a little pickup in sales on that? Even if it's I
No,
mean,
not.
because they're
It's
way
been
they're way.
the website's been about the same, and I
Okay.
attribute that, a lot of it to the fact that it's only 6-8 weeks old. So I'm
Okay.
still the store itself. Lone Star my Crawford's barbecue products have been out for a while, and so those sales are about the same. With Lone Star Barbecue Pro Shop is basically a new business. The store itself's only been open for a couple months, and so it takes a little bit to get out there. I'm
Right.
sure many people watching now have never heard of it, much less of the website. So
Well,
now they know, and I have a large selection. They can get on there and
sure,
find what you
and
need.
one of my moderators can look that up and drop that on the in the chat, and then we'll also post that. I'll also post that when this actually gets aired and all that. We'll put that website in there for you too.
Awesome.
The what to the YouTube channel part of it. What made you start doing YouTube?
Well, I just thought that if I started doing YouTube and got people, and I still have a lot of work to do to make my YouTube channel a little bit more entertaining, and but I wanted to showcase my products, and I figured, the more people could understand, especially like I said, the spritzes, the different ways to using them, then they might want to use them.
Right.
And then showcasing my products was really the first reason of putting it out there. And then, I got some other things on there with showing different barbecue competitions and, just kind of showing the fun of competition barbecue, or just, some of the videos I have on there don't really have a lot of words on it, just kind of video showing
Action, yeah.
the crowd and, kind of maybe entice people to maybe want to come out and check it out, and maybe even get into competition barbecue, because it's a lot of fun, and there's worse things you can go do on a weekend.
Exactly. So has there been a lot of cancellations down there on some of the comps yet, or is it...
Oh, unfortunately, yeah, there's been a ton of cancellations. I think everything's been canceled up to at least the end of April, and then and who knows what's going to happen after that. It's not looking like we're going to have any comps in a little while, and it's really, I mean, there's worse things in the world to worry about, but it's, we most all of us people would like to do competition. We like to. This is like our time of year. This is
it's like golfers.
Yeah,
when
this
it's
is
golfing season. It's like, get out there and do it.
Especially here in South Texas, the weather this time of year is good. It's not too hot. It's not too cold. So most of us are out there as much as we can. And I know several people that are out there every single weekend, and I'm sure that quarantine is driving them nuts as much as it is me, because we like to get out there and compete and see our barbecue family.
Well, I got a question here from Jake in the chat, and he's just kind of wondering what's kind of the average cost to get into competition.
Well, I'd say the biggest cost is just having whatever pit that you want to get in there, but you can get in there for on a pit. Most in IBC, I do IBCA competitions, and a lot of people use their Webers or kettle cooker. I use PK to cook my chicken, and a lot of people are using the drums now. So those are pretty cost-friendly ways to get into it. And for the most part, if you want to get a couple drums and a kettle or whatever, you can put them in the back of your pickup. So I mean, you could couple $1,000, you could have what you need to go out and compete. And as far as the entry fees goes, a lot of that just depends on what contest you're going to. But it's anywhere from $100 to $150, sometimes more. And then also the next thing is your meat. How much you're going to spend on your meat. You could get a $200 Snake River Wagyu from Snake River Farms, or you can get a HEB Prime for $30 $30, $40, $50.
Right.
So if you want to be a little bit more budget friendly, you can have all your meats for less than $100. But you could go to a contest if it's close, depending on how much you spend on gas and with the entry fee and meats, and probably be under $300 if you're really watching your budget.
Yeah. Well, because there's a lot of people that, don't do it because of the cost, and they're not known, so they don't have any sponsorship or anything like that. So it's tougher for them. But there's a lot of, like you say, good backyard barbecue cookers, but they're never really know if they're any good against anybody else.
Yeah.
And,
well, I would say to anybody that wanted to get into it, depending on what part of the country you're on, like if you're in Texas, go to ibca.com, and there are a list of events on there, which all of them are probably not up to date now, so the stinking coronavirus. Or the rest of the country, there's a lot of KCBS cooks, so you can go to their website and they'll have events, listed all over the country. So sure. I mean, you can find an event pretty close to you. You just got to look a little bit, and go ask whoever you work for, see if they'll sponsor you for a cook-off. Right. Yeah, I mean, that's a good... They might pay your entry fee. They might pay your meats or something. Because I talk to guys like that all the time. My boss, sponsored this one. I'm like, shoot, I'm my own boss.
Yeah, so. Your own boss, yeah.
I'm always sponsoring myself, though. I do have a good ride. It just happens to be with myself.
Yeah, right. So with your YouTube channel, what's kind of some of the, I asked everybody, like, what is kind of some of your goals that you're looking at to do for your channel itself this year, in a year's time from now?
This, from here on out, I've kind of showcased how to use some of the products. Now I want to play with some recipes that I think are cool, that aren't necessarily just a repeat of everything else you see on other YouTube channels.
Right. Like mine.
So I have a
I'm not gonna
I wasn't saying anything.
Yeah, no.
But I have a couple of recipes that I think are pretty cool that I've just pulled out of my that would be kind of cool to show off, and a couple of them that may be repeats, but I like doing them, and do some other now that I said that I want to be original, I want to try to do something I think original, and then somebody say, "Well, I've seen that somewhere." Well, so maybe it's maybe not to say that it had never been done. I just never have seen it done. But
and like I always tell everybody too, it's like, like certain regions will cook a certain way. Certain regions like a certain type of flavor, and unfortunately, the YouTube channels especially are saturated with a lot of backyard barbecue guys that like to cook and make videos. Yeah. So you can't always be original, I mean, so the kind of, like, I always try to tell everybody, just be yourself. If you can be yourself on film, you want to boost yourself up about 15% or 20% when you're on film. But to be honest with you, though, just be yourself, and if you're a very thorough person, then be a thorough YouTuber. If you're kind of a screwball like myself, well, then be a screwball and just show some decent product, and people will like you, because they don't really watch you just because you cooked something. They don't. They watch you because they enjoyed hanging out with you for that 10 to 15 minute video. So, like with yourself, having some some championship belts behind you, you've got like where you can show some of how you do things, and you have a little more credibility on that part. So I'd play that up a little bit when you do your videos from moving forward. Hey, I won this, blah blah blah, in March of whatever, and this is the recipe I used for my chicken or ribs or brisket or anything like that. So, are you? I know. Obviously, you sent me a link about a camera today, and we talked a little bit about it. Are you thinking about updating some of your technology into your channel?
Yeah. Well, I have a mic that I've been wanting to use, but it won't plug into my phone. I just discovered this the other day, so so I like, to make a good channel or make a good video, and if you're going to explain stuff, people need to be able to hear and understand you, unlike the beginning of this video before I had my headset.
Yeah, and
that's properly.
And you're 100% accurate there, because people, and I always tell this to my friends that will send me a message and stuff like that and ask me questions about it. I always say people will easily tolerate poor video quality as long as you're not like this and all over the place and dropping your camera and trying to film. But it's really hard for people to watch things when there's a lot of bad audio. So audio is actually more important, unfortunately, into videos than the actual video recorder itself. So it's good that you've got a mic, and I'll try to help you out, and you will offline. We'll do some talk about, 100% really the some different budget levels for you that what I think would be a good camera for you, and some and you tell me what the mic is, and we'll try to get you set up, because audio is important. Now video is important too. I mean, I've spent a lot of time, but I've been doing this for making videos for 30 years, not barbecue videos, but videos for 30 years. So as time goes on, you don't have to buy new stuff all the time. Some of your old stuff still works. So the first initial investment into a YouTube channel is expensive, but yeah, audio, a good lavalier mic or a good boom mic or anything like that will give you twice the amount of view time, because if there's wind or you're standing way back and you can't hear you, it doesn't work. Oh, gosh, Eric, you can't call me, man. Not right now, bud. So anyways, but I don't know why everybody's like instantly calling me tonight before they come on, but I guess they say S happens. So anything else you want to kind of leave us with, though? I mean, give us some things about about your store, or future things that you're looking at adding to your store and your website.
I just want to, I'm always looking for new products that that I don't know of yet.
Yeah.
That people are going to want. So I'm always on the lookout for the next best thing that everybody needs and want. And actually, I have one of the next best things in my store now is the Tribal Grill Fire. I think I told you a little bit about the other day, but that thing is it's going to be a lot of fun for whoever has one in their backyard. So, anytime somebody approaches me with something that is cool as the Tribal Grill Fire, I'm all about it, because I got into this because of my love of barbecue. And so I'm a griller / barbecue guy at heart to start off with. And so it's kind of funny, every time I get a load of products in every day, I'm like a kid on Christmas morning, like, oh, I want one of these. I want to, but I have to have some discipline. I can't take one of everything home.
Right, because you gotta sell a few more to make that profit.
Exactly.
Back.
It's so it's. I mean, one thing about all the products in my store, they're products that I like. Products I would use. Right. And so, I mean, it's a fun store to have. I like going there. I just walk through there, and, man, there's a lot of cool stuff in here. I wish this store was open for me a long time ago. And then and I get a lot of great feedback from people who come in. They're like, wow, this is a cool store, because I do have just about everything a barbecue guy or grilling guy wants, and then some. Right. We got some other stuff that doesn't necessarily have a lot to do with barbecues. It's like kind of Texas boutique-y stuff that my wife has kind of brought in, to kind of entice the women of these barbecue and grillers to come in too. The guys always
drag the women with. They're always dragging the women with,
Exactly.
My wife, we have a small little butcher shop / barbecue supply place about an hour away from here, and I always drag her in there, and she's like, well, I'm gonna go look at the wines or go look over at some of that, and I'm like, yeah, go do that. Then I can sit here and stare at this stuff, so so it's a great idea. It's a good idea.
When somebody comes in a store, they're like, oh my God, I wish I had more money to spend. And I wish they had more money to spend too. So.
Well, I mean, I think that it is actually, a lot of people always think about, online is so important, and everybody has, everybody buys their stuff online and stuff. I kind of disagree with that especially when it comes to barbecue stuff. I need to go there and look at it, see what it looks like, touch it, and like at our little, I don't know what you guys do by there, and this probably all changed now because of the Corona beer virus, but they have a little taste testing thing for all their different types of rubs, so you can dash a little bit on your palm and try it. Oh, this is too salty and all that, and I think that's just awesome because I have bought spices offline without trying it a few times, and I wasn't really 100% satisfied. So with you being able to showcase that in your area, at least all your walk-in traffic can say,
absolutely.
I mean, I love this.
But I have a counter just full of seasonings you can try. I got sausage you can try, and on Saturdays when everybody's not at home being quarantined, we're out front cooking stuff. We're having fun, we got cooking all kinds of food for people to sample so they can taste what this particular seasoning actually tastes like on meat, not just, because when you actually cook with something, it's not always the same as just licking it out of the palm of your hands.
Right,
and,
exactly.
One of the other great additions to my store that is a little known secret is I have beer on tap. So when you come in, what better way to shop for your barbecue supplies but to have a nice Shiner box to wet your whistle as you're looking for whatever it is you need.
Right. Oh, that's a great idea. I mean, I wish you're gonna have to plant 2 up here in up around the central part of Wisconsin, so that I have a place to go to and tell my wife I'll be back, and then I come back with beer in my breath and a bag of shake. It'll be perfect.
There you go. So I on Saturday afternoons, it's a fun place to be.
Oh, I betcha. Yeah, and that's always great. I always like when a little barbecue place is doing some little test runs, and they do a couple little cooks for everybody to try out, and they have their little sample platter. I mean, because it does give you an idea. You can showcase a couple of your rubs that you want to get rid of or you want to boost the sales on, and that helps, and that's because there's so many people that are in the backyard. If it's not sold at their local grocery store or Costco or Sam's Club, they're afraid to touch it because they don't know. And especially around this area where I live, there's so many Norwegians, and frickin' ketchup burns their lips sometimes, so they're always so afraid of that, and they don't like to venture out. So yeah, I think that's awesome that you're kind of doing all that. You're doing the whole package, and we got excited.
We've got Suckle Busters, for instance. We're having Suckle Busters Day in a few weeks if we don't end up canceling it.
Yeah, 10 people.
But we got Suckle Busters Day, and Pitmaster Robert Sierra is going to come out, and I don't know if you know of him or ever heard of him.
I know of him, obviously, but I don't know him.
He's going to come out. Hopefully, pray to God, we don't have to keep canceling stuff in this country. Yeah. But cook up a lot of great food and have some fun, and to see what Suckle Busters taste like on actual meat, not just out of the jar. So I've been looking forward to Suckle Busters Day, and I know a lot of other people around here are wanting to check it out and check out some of Robert's food, and so that's when we're not when I'm not competing, we're doing Saturday's always cook day for me. Okay. Whether I'm on the barbecue trail or we're doing demos at the store. So but all that being said, it's been kind of lonely lately with the stinking coronavirus. I still don't know what to think about all of it, but one thing's for sure, it'll be over sooner than later, but not soon enough.
Yeah, and that's a good way to put it. It's gonna pass. It's gonna move on. All of these crazy things do. Even Ebola in Africa eventually gives up. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's gonna give up here, and I do say that shutting things down is a big, huge aggravation, and I think we're all kind of going through this hidden anxiety, is what I want to call it, because it's like God, I mean, I'm not afraid. I got to go to the courthouse. I do research for electric companies and stuff like that, and I got to go to the courthouse. I have to have a special appointment to go into the courthouse and search. And they can only allow 2 people in that room at a time. And it's not a small room, but still, it's inconvenient. I had to set up an appointment. I never had to deal with that crap before, you know? So
Yeah.
it's like, but I get it. But then it's like, a part of you says, well, geez, the government has never acted this way. It might be a little bit media driven. I will say this. But nobody's ever really had to even think about it. We had SARS, we had all that crap before in the past, swine flu, and we all just ran around and hugged each other and licked fountains like everybody else does, you know. And now it's like, you pretty soon we're walking around in spacesuits. But long story short, just be safe down there, and hopefully everything will pass for all of us, because it's a drag. It's a really big drag, you know, especially when we're running out of meat. Are you kidding me? We're running out of meat. You know, so.
Well, I got a lot of inside sources for meat, but I never thought I'd see the day that would be so hard to find toilet paper.
Well, yeah, there you go.
It's jeez. I could go buy porterhouse steak a lot easier. I could buy a roll of toilet paper.
I bought 4 racks of beef plate ribs yesterday, and that was, like you say, easier to buy than what we went to Walmart this morning to try to buy. You know, I went to the local butcher,
it's ridiculous.
Little butcher next to us, and the People's Butcher Market, and we went over there, and yeah, no problem. But they did tell me we're starting to run a little low, and I'm like, oh gosh, I don't want to hear that from you guys, because you're my go-to when I need something. So. But
we don't seem to have that problem here. I talked to some butchers, and the meat supplies is not the problem here. You go into some of the grocery stores, and they may be out, but it's not because their supplier is out. That just means that they sold what they got in the truck that day. And they're not used to having crazy people come in and buy up everything and the first half of the day. You know?
Well, and that's where I said in the beginning of the show, it's like, how many people are going to, in a year from now, say, oh my God, remember when we bought 14 packs of pork chops? They're still in our deep freezer, our chest freezer and stuff like that. So, but again, hopefully this is just a smooth sailing. We get through this, and you can get back to pounding out some protein again and get that shop a humping. So anybody that's in the chat, go over and check out Bryan's store on his online store. I did see the website come up a couple times. Thank you guys.
Yeah. I actually have 2 websites. So I have the Crawford's Barbecue website, and I have the Lone Star Barbecue Pro Shop website. So the Crawford's Barbecue, you can buy, just any of the Crawford's products. But my Lone Star Barbecue Pro Shop website has one that has my products and everybody else's.
Sure. Well, awesome. Well, I suppose we'll let you get off, and then if you could come on into the chat and talk to the people in there and see if you can roster up some interest or whatever. And also, if you guys haven't, make sure that you subscribe to Bryan's channel. I think you have right around 600 subscribers, so you're trying to get there to that magic 1,000 like everybody. And so go over and check out his regular YouTube channel too. So he's got quite a few different links that you guys get to look at. So he's a lucky guy that way. So, but I thank you for coming in, Bryan, and telling us all about it. You've got a pretty interesting background, and it's pretty cool to hear it. So,
yeah, well, thanks for having me.
You bet, bud. I appreciate it. So, and then I'm going to have your partner in crime here pretty soon. So, Eric is going to be coming on pretty soon. So we'll get him in. I know that you guys are kind of chums, and you kind of know each other. So, I'm glad I got both of you guys on tonight. So it's cool.
Well, you have to ask him about Mr. Rodriguez.
Okay. I'll ask him about Mr. Rodriguez. Okay.
There's Mr. Rodriguez, just to let you know, was my son's FFA pig. And so Eric was instrumental in helping me get him to well, evidently to Eric's plate today, and Mr. Rodriguez is going to be on some of my plates next week. So he's in the freezer now.
Okay.
And I'm not so sure what my son's going to think about when we start eating Mr. Rodriguez. I haven't decided what I'm going to tell him before or after the meal, but
yeah. Well, I mean, being that I kind of grew up on a farm with my grandma and grandpa and stuff like that, I remember those days too. Hey, what happened to that other what we had out there?
Yeah.
And then you look at your plate. Oh yeah, I know what it is right now.
Well,
so.
I guess there's something to be said about not naming your meal.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Brian. Well, hey, thanks a lot, buddy. And you have a great night, and get into that chat and talk with everybody else for a little bit for you. So, all right.
Absolutely, will do.
Right, thanks, man.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, that was pretty good. I mean, we had a little bit of technical difficulties there at first, but we got it. That's the problem with dealing with going live. But hey, let's all I want to see some clappy hands in there, and let's give Brian a round of applause. So I'm going to go through the chat real quick here again, and I see we have Bill. He's another comp guy, big champion, pulling some like walks and calls, as you guys call it. I see that Mike from Dude's Kitchen is in here. Thank you, buddy. We've got, let's see. I did see John Solberg come in. Thanks for coming in, buddy. I appreciate it. And we got Chris from La Famiglia. I'm not Italian. Famiglia. Chris is in here. So, and then we've got the cool guy, the one and only Russell from Raspberry Rock. He is probably has more view time on live chats than anybody in the whole world, and I appreciate you coming in, Russell. I am one of the many that you watch. Good job, bud. And if you guys don't want to go watch an entertaining thing that has nothing to do with barbecue, check out his live streams on Friday night. He's pretty entertaining. Hey, Kent, I think I said hi to you again, or earlier. Say it to you again. James from Aim and Claim, and James is going to be on next week, so that'll be a good guy to bring in here too. So thanks, James, for stopping in, buddy. And I see Eric is in there, and we got Adam from What's Up Welders. Now, Adam likes to make pits. Check him out. He's on Instagram. I'm sorry, I'll have him throw that Instagram tag of his in there. But he's making barbecue pits, and they're pretty nice. Good job, buddy. You got some outdoor burners, or doing some live fire stuff. So it's cool, dude. So keep it up. And we got Beers Jack of Barbecue, and I forget your first name, and I apologize, but you know how it is. And we say, Uncle Steve's has been here. Thank you, Uncle Steve, for stopping in. We love your shake also. And then we got Richard from Our New Barbecue. I said hi to Anderson already, and I think that's kind of it. If I missed you, I apologize. Eric, we're going to bring in Eric from Camp House Barbecue, and I'm going to have to do a little bit of adjusting, I think, here, because the way these darn smart mouses work, I can't figure out how to minimize stuff. Oh, he's calling me. He's so excited. We'll just bring him in. Hey. All right, buddy. How you doing, man? We got you.
Doing all right. How about yourself?
I'm real good, Eric. How you doing, buddy?
We're doing all right for the shape I'm in.
All right. I want to say a quick hello to Wally and Delana. Thank you for stopping in, guys. I really appreciate it. So, but yeah. So what's the weather down there today for you?
It's still kind of muggy. We had some light rain this morning. On the past couple of days, we've had rain. We got rained on pretty good. I think we got 2.5 inches of rain gauge here at the house show day before yesterday. But it's just been cool. I mean, cool to us. I mean, it's like 60 some, which is probably nothing to y'all, but to us, it's pretty cool. Yeah. And a light rain, but it's just muggy. It's just, I don't know. It's feeling the part for what we're going through. It's just real eerie, real just quiet, but
yeah,
it is what it is. We're making the best of it.
Yeah, that's right. Well, at least it's 60 down by you. You can wear a sweatshirt and go outside.
Yeah.
was like 42, I think, by us here today. So I mean, it ain't terrible,
Yeah.
But it ain't great. So Bud, what have you been up to? What have you been up to?
Throwing a lot of cans.
Yeah, you've been throwing a lot of cans, been
A
sitting
lot
around.
of cans. Yeah. We've been. I met up with Brian a couple of days ago. We were in Uvalde picking up Mr. Rodriguez.
Yeah. So have you had a chance to taste Mr. Rodriguez yet?
I actually had him for lunch or for dinner today. I was actually cooking dinner before I came over here, and I did some carne con chile colorado, which is like a Mexican dish, like a carne guisada. So I was able to film a little bit. I'll be putting that together. I used the country style ribs to make that dish. So
Sure.
we made some
Awesome.
tacos and some hot sauce, and it was pretty good. Like I said, it's a kind of an in deal. I shoot him a text over, hey, Mr. Rodriguez is making his first appearance on my kitchen tonight. He's like, mine's gonna be probably the next couple of weeks or so. But yeah, I was able to go pick it up for him in San Antonio, brought him home, fed him out a little bit, and then took him over to Uvalde to the butcher place. So we yielded a good load of meat. So we'll be all right, at least for pork, for a while during this whole thing blows over.
Well, that's good, man. So, obviously I know who you are, and there's a few people in here that know who you are, but why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself? Tell us about, Eric from Camp House Barbecue, and let's hear about you, a little bit about your life. I mean, you got a big family, and tell us about it, man.
Good deal. Well, first of all, I'd like to thank you, you and Pickles, for allowing me to come on the show. It's, it's a pretty humble experience compared to where I'm coming from. Small town, small channel, small town. It's just crazy. It's the way that people have took me in, as my channel and all that stuff has been very, very humble experience. And I thank all of y'all, and I know a lot of people in the chat have been very supportive towards our channel. So I want to thank them for, watching my silly
I don't
ass.
know if we allowed you. We wanted you to come on, man. I mean, you're a hoot, I mean, like I told you when we did our audio test, I said if we lived a little closer, you and I'd be hanging out a lot,
Yeah,
so.
especially since I look like your buddy.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you do look like my buddy, Joe. That's right.
But
So,
now
yeah,
a little bit about myself. I'm from a small town, Southwest Texas, Asherton, Texas, aka they call it Cheto. If Chef Johnny's in here, he'll blurt it out there.
Okay.
But we're about an hour 45 southwest San Antonio. Population is about 1,500 on a good day if everybody answers their door when the census comes around. Because if we don't know who they are, we ain't gonna answer the dang door. Born and raised down here. What I do for my occupation, I'm in the oil and gas industry. I'm an operator for the oil and gas company down here. We work on a 8 and 6 schedule. So I'm fortunate. Before all this oil field stuff, I was a hunting guide on some ranches out here. We do exotic hunts and hog hunts and whitetail hunts. So I guess I get to do the best of both worlds still. I still get to go do that oil field and and provide for my family, and I also get to go to the ranch still and do what I'm really passionate about, which is guiding hunters out there. So fortunate to still do both with the schedule that we work. As you can see on some of my videos, I've done videos of the ranch when we go hang out and take hunters out and all that stuff. So it's pretty fun. You get to do best of both worlds. Married to my wife. We've got 5 children, 4 girls and 1 boy. So it's a busy house. There's always something going on.
I think loaded shotguns around in the corners. Yep.
Oh, every single corner has one. I swear to God, I'll tell you what. I could probably reach one right here from this seat over here.
Right.
And we're pretty busy. My wife, she gets pretty busy because during season, I leave the oil field and I come over here and then I go to the ranch and then I come back to the ranch, go over there. She kind of holds it down the fort a lot, And then we, God damn, the dog's got on hold to something. Chasing a fox earlier.
Yeah.
So we do, and we're also every weekend. Like I said, these past 2 weekends have been probably the slowest because we have evidently everything got shut down due to what is going on.
Right.
But as far as little hobbies and stuff, of course, cooking is my one deal. I love cooking. We do a little competition. I don't do as many, but we try to do quite a bit throughout the year. My kids do that. My kids are into the Kids Q Nation. They do the pork chops and steaks
Yeah, I've seen
competition.
that on
So
Facebook. That's pretty
so
cool.
that's something we do. Of course, all the usual, basketballs and all that stuff, and hunting, fishing, and all that good stuff. So, but for the most part, that's about us. Simple life down here, and of course we do our stock show stuff. We show goats and lambs and all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah. You have like a similar sized town as I do, so you're right. I mean, there's a handful of people that live around here, and they're all around us is the boonies, and
Yep.
it's beautiful country and a lot of lakes that we have by us,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of things to do outside nature stuff. But now that's all ruined. There ain't nobody going anywhere.
Yeah.
And down by you guys, I'm sure it's pretty much the same thing. You get out of town, there's a lot of parks or a lot of different places you can go run around and check out.
Yep.
So
For sure.
So the ranch, how did you get all involved in the ranch?
So the ranch came about, like I said, before the hey, settle down. They're chasing my goats now. Before the whole old field got started, that's what I did full time. Out of high school, I got involved. I've always loved hunting. That was my passion.
Yeah.
So I got to the point where, I got pretty decent at aging whitetail, because a lot of times that's the main bread and butter. They want you to age a good whitetail, know how old he is, how big he is, because they want you to shoot the correct animal, and they don't want you to shoot a young one or undersized or oversized, for the budget of the client.
Right.
So
right.
I was fortunate to get into that, and I applied. There was this ranch here looking for guys. I applied. I got in. It was a double C ranch, and then after that whole deal, the guy kind of sold off his part, because he started getting into the oil field and all that stuff. So he was making more money and not having to deal with, a bunch of people every 3 or 4 days.
Right.
So
right.
I had two buddies that went ahead and they bought out that manager. They bought out his QuickBooks, so they bought out all his client list, and those guys were repeat customers, so they would always want to come back with us. And they're like, "Hey, I want you as my guide or you as my guide." So they went on to another ranch and opened up their own lodge and their own stuff, and we kind of just transitioned over to that other ranch. And we still have clients that I've had back when I was, 10 years ago. The guy's been coming to be back every year, and they kind of schedule their hunts when my days are off. That way I'm able to go out and guide them and stuff like that. So it's been quite a roller coaster, but yeah, it's fun.
So are you kind of the head chef there too? Is that kind of what you do? No, you're just
no,
the guide,
yeah, we're a guide. They have a chef. They have all their own, the kitchen, all that stuff. We kind of, so what we do, we got a lot of downtime when we drop off hunters. Like if they're doing hogs or exotics, we don't have to go sit with them unless it's a whitetail. We have to do one-on-one. So if it's like hog hunters, we go pick our area of the ranch. We go drop them off, and then we have 5-6 hour downtime. So we have a little guide meeting, and we go pick up stuff to cook for ourselves, and we'll drink beer and barbecue for ourselves. And then once it's time to go pick up our hunters, we'll go pick up our hunters. So
it's just funny because I don't know if it's like some type of camp or something like that. It just I know it's a camp, but like a kids camp where you take the kids to the canoes and then you pick them up down the river or something. Yeah. It's kind of a similar thing,
Pretty much is what it is.
Yeah.
You drop them off and they shoot their hogs, or you get that one pissed off hunter who didn't see a hog, and it's your fault. You got to cater to that, and
right.
We bring them. Yeah, we bring them in. We dress their animals and hang them up in the coolers and all that stuff, and do it all over again. And then when it's time for them to go, we quarter up, we'll butcher up their animals and put it in their coolers, ice them down, and they're on their way.
On their way. Do you guys are you bringing in stock, or is it all? How big is the ranch?
So the ranch is we've got two portions. One of them is 5,000 acres or 5,500 acres, and the one next door is about 1,000. So like the hogs and the deer, we kind of have you can't manage hogs ever, because those suckers, they just reproduce and they're just all over the place. So the hog hunts for the most part are there. The whitetail, sometimes they brought in some stock of whitetails just to change up genetics a little bit, get a little bit more bigger deer.
Right.
So we kind of manage the whitetails to a certain point. We don't bring many of them in. The ones that we do bring in is like the exotic stuff, like the big old African, animals, Watusis, and all that other stuff.
Yeah,
we do stock them up.
Because like it was that Watusi, wasn't there one just you guys?
Yeah, we
had
just harvested
taken
about 2 weeks ago. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that
So
was
yeah,
huge.
we
God.
like the axes. Yeah, the thing had about I don't even remember the circumference of that thing, but man. And then today, my buddy sent me. He had some hunters come in today, and they shot a 40-inch Gibbs box. So it was a pretty big Gibbs buck, 40-inch or so. But like those, the axis deer and the black buck, they did buy a big herd a few years back, and they're actually doing okay, reproducing there. So they're doing their own thing. But a lot of these bigger game, it's kind of hard to get them reproduced or stuff like that. But those are the ones we do have to try to bring in.
Eric's Barbecue and More just joined us, and he's asking, are the wild hogs as good as like the domestic, or is there something you got to do different with cooking them, or is it kind of the same? Or?
So my deal is always, like, if you get a wild boar, anything over 100 pounds, you're at that threshold where they're, they got that rank on them.
Yeah,
but
gamey.
a good, real gamey. But a good sow, you can get yourself a good sow up to 200-300 pounds, and she's fine. Like for me, I like to keep them under 75 pounds. Those are the good whole cooked ones. You could put them on spit just like a regular domestic hog, which are good. Right. But what I normally do, I either just I'll soak them a brine in an ice chest with like salt, citrus stuff like orange juice, oranges, cilantro, onions, and ice, and soak it 24 hours, and you'll pull that game right out of it.
Okay.
And it works for me. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because like a lot of guys I've actually talked to, they'll kind of do some of that with different types of citruses with venison. I mean, they'll do that with venison too.
Yeah.
And I mean, but yeah, that's pretty neat, because I've seen videos of wild hogs, and man, I mean, they're just nuts. And it's like, you must be just almost begging for people to come down there and shoot some of them.
It's crazy, man, and it's that ranch that we outfit for, their main deal is cattle. So they plant their fields every year, or every change of season they plant a different field for that time of the year. Sure. And them hogs will just get in there and they'll tear up those fields before they even get a chance to sprout. So it's crazy.
Up by us, we've got whitetail obviously, and then we have turkey. Turkeys
are a nuisance.
They're just bastards, to be honest with you, because they let that stalk get so big, and then they jump on them and they break them over. So actually, they do more damage, I think, than in our area, especially than the deer. Yeah, and we've got a very healthy deer population around by me.
Yeah, y'all get some big ones too.
Yeah, we get some big ones. Iowa's really big. That's where those things are really literally corn fed. And those are massive. My God. Yeah. We might get some really good racks up here, but as far as like the deer size, that's just a little bit over average. But down in Iowa, I've seen some just like they're almost like a mule or like a miniature elk sometimes.
Yeah, they're huge.
So how did you start doing the YouTube part of it? How did you throw that together?
So the whole YouTube deal, it came about. So there's a bunch of cooking forums on Facebook that I'm a part of. Sure. And I would just do little clips here and there, when I'm barbecuing. I mean, I wouldn't show full recipes or do cooks or whatever, but I would show clips of me hanging out. Same thing you see. The hell was that? Did you hear that?
Yeah.
No, that sounded like a woman yelling. Oh, goddamn. If you see me run here in a bit, you're gonna know it's not just because I want to get off.
We'll keep the phone there so it's rolling, so we don't miss.
If you start hearing gunshots and shit, you'll know what's up. Anyway, I started doing like I said, on those forums, posting videos and stuff, and then I would get messages like, "Hey, so how did you do that? Or how did you do this? Or what did you use? Or back and forth." Damn, there it was again. So I just said, you know what? They're like, why don't you just do YouTube? I was like, man, at first I was like, nah, I'm kind of skeptical about it. I didn't know how it all worked or whatever. And then my kids were like, why don't you do a YouTube channel? Everybody watches your videos. Everybody's always liking and all this other stuff. And I was like, You know what? I started the YouTube and just, when I first started, I mean, I ain't been in it, but I'm barely going to go on a year, I think, in June or something, be like my 1 year. But I quick to find out that 30-minute YouTube videos are not very liking to the public. Yeah. Your view time, yeah. Yeah, so it started off rough, and that's when it was the whole I didn't know this was this and full. It's just your typical everything.
Learning. Yep,
Yeah.
learning.
So through the time, I just started doing a little bit more better and finding out how to edit. I still can't. I mean, I edit a little, but I still can't get the full deal.
But your latest videos, if like I want to see your last 5 or 6, I can tell you've been really trying to study into it a little bit because
I'm doing
you're getting artsy fartsy almost, buddy.
And
I see it in you, and I like that.
Yeah, I've started playing around with the little musics and different tempos and then different filming style. I mean, like the phone has so many options you can use for different slow-mos and time lapses and all voiceovers and all that stuff. So I've had a lot of porcelain throne time that I've been studying how to do the edits and stuff. So it's been pretty good. It's one of those times you get up and your knees start buckling. You've been sitting there so long.
Right.
You get to a point where you're so focused you forget where you're at. But
the job has been done for half an hour and you're still sitting there.
You're still sitting there. Yeah. So, but I started doing all that. And that's it was like a blessing in disguise. Because as soon as I posted a couple videos, everybody just started like boom, 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 and it's just a lot of my, because I hardly pay attention to analytics, but, I started actually looking into that too lately.
Yeah,
and I know like right now I have like 70% of the people who watch is like non-subscribers.
Right.
Because so I do my videos and I share them to my Facebook page because a lot of the followings was for my Facebook page. So I know a lot of those people are starting to they watch, because they're intrigued of how I'm doing things. Or, recently I shared out a post that there was a guy watched one of my last videos of mollejas, the sweetbreads. And he's like, look, I did it your way. He's like, I haven't had mollejas in over 8 years. And the last time I had them, it was like, they didn't come out very well. So he did what I did on that video. He's like, man, they came out awesome. My family loved them. I was like, man, that's, at the end of the day, if I can help one person with something that I'm doing different, that's awesome. Because ultimately my deal is just to leave stuff. Hopefully YouTube stays long enough when my kids, have it. And there'll be something because nobody takes a 35 millimeter film to the Walmart to develop pictures anymore. It's hey, look at my phone. My phone's always, you got your pictures, you got all that stuff. So that's basically what I did on my channel. But, people took onto it. People started asking me to do different cooks and how I did this. And, it's just gone to a different.
You're bringing a little bit different than like everybody too. You're doing some cool meals, and that's what I've kind of noticed, and that's what's cool. Everybody kind of brings what they cook, and they should. If you cook something and you like it, you bring it. Everybody, like I tell everybody that we all have a place in this YouTube world. You just need to find it. And once you find out what you're doing and where you're looking at, it's all good, man. It's all good, Yeah. So how is the Corona whole crap down by you? I mean, obviously, Brian's right next to you.
Yeah.
But, how is that kind of affecting you and your family? Just you guys.
So, like, I was talking to my wife the other day. We were talking. I was like, man, we've been through several of these deals, I was there through the Y2K when everybody started pulling out their money because the banks were going to go down and technology was going to freeze it. And then we had the SARS. Yeah, and then the SARS and then the H1N1, the West Nile. We've been around through all those, but none of those had ever affected this far down. So it kind of didn't phase us because it was like, it happened over there. We never had no situations over here. But now the fact that, they shut the schools down as, the orders and all that stuff. I've never seen it affect us this far down south. So this one's been pretty, eye-opener because, like I said, at first we're like, hey, we're in the boonies. It doesn't matter to us or whatever. But now, when you're seeing lines at your local grocery stores at 5 or 6 in the morning, lines, people standing in the rain. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. And so I told my wife, I was like, man, it's a pretty crazy situation. And it's sad the way people are reacting to it. Yeah. It could be so much more controllable if people would just like we talked the other day, not a panic buy. That's what's killing everybody. It's just ridiculous.
Well, I'm going to, I was thinking about this today, And I really think that when we're dealing now with the 911 generation, there's a lot more panic-struck people that were closer to that era, let's say.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, wasn't young when 9/11 happened, you know, but there's a lot of younger people that are in there, and I think that is like, oh my God, you know, I mean, I think those are the most anxiety-filled people, a lot of those younger millennials, because of that, you know, and am I right? Who knows? But that's my guess, because our country has gone through a hell of a lot, you know.
Yeah.
Now, war is different, you know. I mean, you look at the Greatest Generation, that's a lot different than a bunch of, you know, former 60s and 70s and 80s and 90s kids that had it pretty much made. So we can't compare. I can't even compare the lifestyles that they had, but they weren't worried about like touching a door handle and dying from a door handle, you know. Now, I'd like to see when they start coming out with the reports of actually who is keeling over, and it's a respiratory thing. And when I laugh so hard, is like, it's respiratory, but everybody's buying every roll of toilet paper for a respiratory thing.
I don't know how that's going to save you.
Yeah, you know. So, but it's really an entangled nightmare as far as I'm concerned with everything right now.
Yeah, it's been crazy, like I said, and I've never seen it this far close to home. I mean, I know we have a couple, I don't know if it's 1 or 2 confirmed cases like 45 minutes south of us. That's as close as it's gotten so far, but you know, that's still a little too close for comfort, you know.
Yeah,
because that's like one of the major cities that we'll go out to, like the malls and stuff, because we don't have malls over here, but that's a town that we go to for our bigger purchases, academies and all that stuff. So it's crazy.
Well, it's kind of funny because my wife, like this weekend, jacked me up a little bit, because like I'm like, okay, Friday I had to go run to this store, and then I come back, and then Saturday morning I had to go to the butcher shop. You know, I didn't go to the butcher shop, there was nobody in there, but I went to the butcher. And then today I'm like, oh my God, I forgot, I need pellets, and if they end up closing down some of this stuff, I need some pellets and some charcoal. So she's like, would you just make a list and go once, you dumbass? You know, I mean, quit running all the time. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. But I'm still not, let's say, conditioned for all this crap. I'm used to being on a loose pulley, and whenever I want to leave, I leave. You know.
And that's the way I was. That's why, like I'm saying, when I saw it closer, we went to the dollar. There's a little dollar store here that, you know, that's about the only thing we've got. We got a gas station, a dollar store, and you know how it saves you running up, you know, to the next town to go get what you need. Right. But I walked in, I hadn't paid attention. I was like, I'll go get this, I'll go get that, you know. And my wife was like, same thing. So why don't you just get what you need and be done with it? I'm like, but I'll go run real quick. It's down the road. I'll go run. And I was standing outside of that store because they were making you wait in line because of the whole 10 count or 10 people. So they had the door shut. They would come out here, unlock it, and open it. And I'm sitting there in line, and that's when I thought to myself, I was like, okay. All right, this is a little bit more serious than what I'm trying to cope with in my head, and it's just crazy. But I hope every ball blows over. I just told my wife, one thing we don't have to worry about is meat. We'll be okay with that.
Right, yeah, and that's we're okay. But, you know, I'm like, darn it, you know, I mean, 2 weeks ago I looked at like hoarding a little bit, and I'm like, nah, you know. Well, now I'm kind of like, darn it, you should have, because I still have a half freezer chest that I could put stuff in, you know. But then on the other hand, it's like, well, things, we'll figure it out.
And that's the thing, is like, I've seen that, like, the people out, like this morning I went to go get a thing of flour, you know, because we were going to make breakfast, and my wife was going to make tortillas and stuff, so I went to go get out some flour, and I'm sitting there, and the guy has like 2 left, you know. I could have just been like, I'll take both of them. Right. I was like, you know what? I only need this one. I'll leave that one there for somebody else to come get it who, you know, needs it also. But people are not using that mentality around now that, hey, you know, somebody else can use it too. You're going to sit it in your damn pantry for 6 months or whatever, not even use it when somebody can use it right now, you know?
And that's the thing that I keep on looking at. Is like, how much is going to end up in, let's say this thing blows over in 2 weeks. How much of this stuff that people really went absolutely crazy in is going to be used? Are people, you know, maybe they don't. Now, I think this is going to be hanging on us for a little bit longer, to be honest with you. You know?
But I think so too.
Hopefully they don't have to, you know, hopefully can still do stuff. So
they'll have it on Facebook Market for sale, pork chops 2 for $5. selling
Yeah.
toilet paper out there.
Yeah. So I got a question. What's your plans this year for your YouTube channel? Now, I brought it up a little bit earlier that I see that you're getting a little bit more creative in your videos, and you're
Yeah.
taking some awesome shots. I mean,
Yeah.
really, I mean, some of that stuff out, by the campfires and all that stuff, Eric, it's really good. Yeah, I see you have a creative mind, so keep that
Thank
going.
you. Thank you.
But,
Appreciate it.
but
Uh,
so what are you kind of thinking about doing this year?
my goal this year, first before to hit 1K. I'm flirting with it right now. I'm flirting with
Okay.
it, but
Yeah,
that's my
yeah.
deal right now. Like I said, I got this. My wife got me this Element Studio lighting ring with the.
Mhm.
That's what I'm sitting on right now.
Yeah.
Taking little steps to get over there. My whole deal is, I want to get more. I want to get me an actual camera where I can back up all my stuff up into my laptop and
Right.
work all that stuff out.
Right.
I'd hate for my phone to go take a poop and then I have everything in there and it's out, and it's like, oh
Yeah.
God Almighty. So my deal is to, improve. Improve more my videos, my editing. Kind of shorten them up a little bit more, make them to where people, catch all the good stuff, but yet it's not, too long on them. But it's just basically just to improve my channel. Different
Yeah.
angles and different cooks, and of course you're still gonna get my drunken lives and all that stuff. But
Well, those are good ones, though, buddy. All right. So now that you're talking about drunken lives, how did you come up with the can phrase? Throwing cans. How did you come up with that?
So with that, when I was doing those forms, those cooking stuff, and it's in Spanish, we would always say, hey, aquí andamos tirando botes. So in Spanish is tirando botes. So it kind of it's always been with me from the back since I was doing the Facebook post,
Okay.
2 or 3 years ago. And everybody's like, hey, I want to tirar unos botes. Let's go throw some cans. Let's go throw some cans. So it just kind of just evolved slowly into throwing cans, because a lot of people are like, so what's that? Throwing cans. And I explained it. So it just kind of like, it called it AKA into throwing cans too. So,
Right.
and it kind of just stuck with me.
Well, because it's pretty original, and it kind of reminds me of when I was younger. I accidentally, on purpose, said, "Drink a beer can," and let's go drink a beer can, and everybody's like looking at me like, "What?" And that has stuck with me. I've got a couple friends that'll say that all the time.
Yeah.
You want to drink a beer can? Yeah, let's drink a beer can. So
Yeah.
it's kind of the same
It's the
thing.
same. It's the same thing, and everywhere on Facebook, everywhere I get my buddies text message or anywhere people see me, they give me a cook-ups. Hey, let's go throw some cans or whatever. I'm like, hell yeah, it's kind of just something that stuck with me. And of course, I always throw in cans.
Sure. So now, have you like you and Brian, have you done any comps together? Have you guys kind of done? Yeah.
Yeah,
Hang
we've
out a little bit?
we'll kind of hang out. We did the last one we did together was in Uvalde.
Okay.
The big one in Uvalde, and then we did a couple. I try to some of the bigger ones when I have a chance. I try to link up with them. And we all cook together. There's 3 of us. A buddy of mine, Hector Siniga, he's on Lobo's Den Barbecue.
Okay.
We kind of do that. They kind of cook a little bit more than I'd like to, but I still hit up some comps whenever they're out there and stuff like that. So, but
Sure.
I kind of take care. I kind of take care of the backyard stuff for the Crawford Spices end of it.
All right. Well, that's good though. That's good. And
Yeah.
then, I mean, it's always cool to have a guy like that, and you do the competition obviously also.
Yeah.
And it's always, I mean, you got a guy like that has a similar like hobbies as you that lives real close, and
Yeah.
you got Mr. Rodriguez.
Yeah,
right?
Mr. Rodriguez, coming
you
to
guys share
a video
hog
near
and-
you.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, he had the grand opening for the barbecue pro shop, and I hauled his battle wagon. He's like, hey, you want to bring the trade? He's like, yeah. He's like, you want to cook some mollejas, some sweetbreads? I'm like, shit, yeah. So I went over there, we backed her up, set her up, and I made a video of that grand opening on my channel. And he had some tortillas. My wife did a pico de gallo. We grilled up mollejas, and we were handing out tacos to the people coming in, using his products. I was using the burnt beef, the SA, and the Alamo dust.
Sure. Sure.
But we handed out tacos to all these people that were coming in through the store and asking questions, and we had a pretty good time out there.
Brian's gonna send me a couple of his shakes and all that.
Yeah,
so
they're
I'm
great.
pretty excited to try it. Because I like to try different types of barbecue rubs, Now, obviously, I can always go to that they're all very similar, but it's always like the proportions of this or what, and the measurements and all that might be a little bit different. But it's always fun to try out different rubs.
Yeah.
I have a lot of people that ask me, Racer, do you make your own rub? Yeah, I did for years, and I'm sick of it. It's the same old crap, you know. And it's like, I mean, I don't want to say it's crap. It's good, but I like to try something different, you know. And especially when I start getting into regions, you know, like region. you know, different region is different. You know, everybody likes something a little different, and that's what's cool. So, you are kind of spoiled to have a guy that has all that, you know, as a good friend, you know. So,
yeah, for sure.
You know, and again, like, you know, with your YouTube channel, you're right on the edge of hitting that 1,000, you know, and that's always a big self confidence booster once you hit there. And I'm hoping that everybody is, you know, I'm gonna guess that the majority of the people that are watching tonight are subscribed to you, but maybe not everybody. But I hope that if you aren't subscribed to Eric, get in there and subscribe to him, because you will enjoy a lot of his videos. You will
appreciate it. I appreciate it.
I mean, we will. I mean, you're a funny dude, man. And it's like, if you weren't halfway, you know, or if you were on the bottom of the country and I wasn't on the top, I'm not kidding you. You and we'd be throwing cans together.
Oh yeah.
You know? I'd probably be throwing some glass, but you know, we'd figure something. Yeah, we'd find some.
They break better when you shoot them in the air.
Right. You know, and you just got a really cool like hobby, and with the ranch and what everything that you're doing with, like, you know, your YouTube channel, keep going, man. Because I think if you when you're ready, you talk to me about a camera and different things that you can get into. And I will give you a budget level. You give me a budget level, and I'll give you a budget level kit. And we'll try to get you to step it up a little bit, because I think you're onto something, especially when you get some of that ranch stuff in there. And, you know, I mean, I will warn you, once you get off a cell phone, life gets a little bit more trickier with setting things up. But once you get used to setting up the different type of cameras, it's not that hard. But like in your thing with you guys driving around, and I mean, it's like you guys are driving around in big old jacked up trucks and stuff. I mean, you really need to be riding horses when I watch you.
Right. We should.
Yeah, you know, and it's like, but GoPros and stuff like that would probably be a great little video capture for you. So, you know, but when you're ready, you know,
most definitely, for sure.
You got anything else you want to leave us with, bud?
No. So I want to pick up on the whole camp house. I was going to mention it earlier. I forgot where the name came from. So that name came from, I know it established, it says on the bottom of my logos all the time, it says 1995 or something like that. So back here where I live is a whole family property. You know, my grandfather used to live here, and he used to raise ostriches and stuff like that way before that stock market crashed on ostriches and couldn't even give them away. But
oops.
We've got there's a little shed back here. We use it now for our feed room. And my dad and my grandpa moved that thing over here back in like I said, 95. They bought it and then kind of put it back together, and they called it the campo, el campo, almost por el campo. They called it camp house, which is English is camp. So we had a ranch out about 200 acres that they would go hunt and all that stuff, and then they would come over here. The you know, all the cleaning rack, all that stuff where we harvest or we do it's still sitting the same way it was when my grandpa was around. My dad's still around evidently, but my grandpa, my uncles, they would come harvest whatever they would come out and harvest, bring it over here, you know, cook, barbecue, whatever, like a piece of the deer meat or do whatever. They're at the house, drink beer outside. And, you know, it was my grandfather and his friends first. And then my dad came around and his friends. And now I've got it now. And then my buddies come out here. So that's where the whole camp house name came from, which was way back when, you know, from the 90s, 95 or something like that. So,
well, it's pretty cool that your grandpa, your dad, and you have all been in this same area, you know, on that same thing. And I kind of had the same little bit, but it was with my mother, my grandpa and grandma, and then my mom lived at the farm, and then I lived there. And, you know, it's kind of the same thing, and it does mean something. No, we sold that, you know, long story, but we got rid of it. You know, nobody wanted to live on there anymore. And there is a little bit of a, dagger in the chest every time I drive by it. But on the other hand, it's like life is just so much easier that we moved into town.
Yeah.
But other than that, but yeah, it's really cool that you got one boy, right? You got one boy. Well, you never know. He might just, put a stake out in the yard for himself someday.
Yeah. So that'd be good. That'd be good.
Well, Eric, thanks for joining me, buddy. I really appreciate it, and you did a hell of a job, and both you and Bryan, I'm glad both of you guys could join me on the same night because you guys are kind of that band of brothers. As a football coach, I always talk about the band of brothers, and you guys are that band of brothers.
Yeah.
You do a lot for each other, and that's great, So
Awesome.
get on in there and Laws. Ask Eric about the Laws whiskey. Daddy Dutch wants to know about. Ask Eric about In-Laws whiskey. There we go.
So the In-Law whiskey, I'm sure you've gotten your hands on one of them shakers from Daddy Dutch, the seasoning he's got. So I was using it one time, and I don't know if I was live or I did a video on some country style ribs on using that seasoning, and then after a while it was like, hey, have you used that seasoning? I'm like, man, I only use that seasoning when I'm alone or I'm cooking for myself, one steak, because that's that good stuff. That's like that good whiskey that you don't bring out when your in-laws are here. When the in-laws come over, you bring out that, that $9.99 whiskey or whatever. I said, that's what that seasoning is. You don't bring out the good whiskey when your in-laws are here. So that seasoning is just for my personal stash whenever I use it. I ain't going to use it for the in-laws.
Yeah,
so that's where he was going to change the name to the in-law seasoning, the good whiskey seasoning. So, but it's been...
All right.
So,
well,
I just want to say real quick before we get off,
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I
You're
appreciate you, you and Pickles, for having me on here. Guys, everybody in this chat, thank y'all for sticking in with us and hanging out with us. Don't forget to go and make my button gray, because when you get out there and we go on the lives, all we're going to do is we're going to get it one time for them. Oh, where is it? Oh.
Yeah, he's got that. There you go. He's got the horn. Yeah, you guys. I mean, his live streams are very comical. They're not as probably maybe as like like mine are, but he's a roar. So make sure you guys, if you subscribe to him and turn on all notifications, because when he goes live, it's a lot of fun. And I've really enjoyed your lives when you're at the ranch. That's just really epic, dude. So,
appreciate
all right,
it.
man. Well, stay in that chat for a while and talk to everybody.
We'll do it.
And we'll talk to you soon, bud. All
okay,
right?
we'll do it.
All right,
Thank
man.
you.
You bet.
Cheers.
Thank you. Later. Cheers to you. All right. Well, there is Eric from Camp House Barbecue. And I hope you guys enjoyed him. He has a lot of positive energy. My wife sent me a text message earlier, like, more life into me. And I'm like, the last 3 nights I've been up until 2:00 in the morning and doing stuff with this YouTube stuff, because I am really like on the edge of like crazy busy with work, like real life. And I'm trying to get other things done, and with all the hassles that everybody's running into, it's like, oh my God. But let's make sure that we give Eric a big round of applause and throw some of those clap signs in there. Good job, In Your Mouth Barbecue. Thank you, sir. And what we're going to do right now is my famous, it's a pee break. I'll be right back.
Hey! Geht's euch gut? Super! Hey!
All right. Well, here we are. We're back a little bit. I hope everybody enjoyed that song. Let's go through and we're gonna before we get Kevin on from Comparison Cooking. Let's see who else is joining. I did see Johnny from A View to a Grill. Thank you, Johnny, for coming in, buddy. I appreciate it. And In Your Mouth Barbecue. Let's see who else. I saw a couple other people that jumped in there. Oh, Jeff from Grill and Smoke Barbecue. Thanks, buddy, for coming in. Appreciate it. And Chris is still here. That's good. Thank you, Chris. And I think that's kind of about it. Before I call him in, the big thing that I'm looking at with my channel this week is I want to do a better job at my playlist on my YouTube channel. I do have like playlists, and if you guys, there's a couple of you, I'm going to say Brian and Eric, when I looked at your channel, and I don't know, I'm going to try doing this as long as we're on here real quick and see if I can get this changed over, but it might be a little tricky. Yeah, darn you. I can't quite figure out how to do it. Because I'm on there we go. All right. So when you guys are looking at your channel here, you don't have any like playlists. All you guys have is just your uploads, okay? So if you go into the settings part of it, there's a good way to add some playlists so you guys can kind of separate the stuff out. I have it. I know that, I don't want to say for 100% sure, but you know, Kevin's got it, and you can kind of see here where Kevin has put some of his newer things on, and then he's going to start doing his, his actual playlists. Weber versus Traeger, he's got kind of a playlist right through the center part. So brisket series, that's a really good thing for when people, now 10% of the people only actually probably go to the actual website or to your actual channel and watch it. Excuse me. Most of them are just going to go on to YouTube, do a search, they watch your video, and that's it. Craig from Behind the Barbecue or Behind the Garage Barbecue's in, and Craig's a winner. And from 2 weeks ago, and now I have to announce that last week's winner was Daddy Dutch. Kent himself won the 2 Pig Mafia steak seasoning, so we'll get that out to him real soon. He sent me his shipping address, so see, people do win. This week, we're going to give away from Sucklebusters their peach rub. Their Texas pecan rub. Sorry, I had their peach sauce today. Their Texas pecan barbecue rub. Good rub. So what we're going to put in there today, and you can, for this video, now that's another thing, I'm going to scold all you guys because I have either from 25 to 50 some people watching this at times. Try to win something, for heaven's sakes. Sucklebusters is kind enough to donate a shaker. I'm working with some other rub companies to see if they could like pick a couple, shows, a year that we could give out and highlight them. But they're nice enough to do this. Go into the replay and give a freaking hashtag so you can win it and try it, man. It's not expensive, but it's still nice of them to support our little group here, our little family. And the Texas pecan for the hashtag, we're just going to do pecan or pecan or pecan, whatever you want to say. I don't have to, I'm going to read it. I'm going to say it how I say it. So hashtag pecan. All right. And that we'll give away a bottle of that this next week. So, but again, good job, Daddy Dutch, and let's try to get more than 5 to 9 people putting the hashtag in there. Come on, man. Oh, hey, Chef Johnny, thanks for dropping in, bud. All the Texas guys are gone. Now you get to hang out with us cool Yankees and stuff. Nah, kidding. But yeah, just remember the hashtag and get in there because, in the replay, I haven't figured out how to do it from the comments from the actual live stream. And that might be something that maybe my IT worker, my IT man, Charlie, can figure out. I really hope that maybe, because I would rather just do it from the actual live stream. But there's also a part of me that wants everybody to be able to, because not everybody can watch all the time. Some people are getting their temperature taken and they have to have the alcohol swab. And by the time they get home from the alcohol swab and their temperature reading, the freaking show's over. So they got to watch the replay. So I want them to be able to do it too. Yeah, pecan. I always laugh at that. How do you say it? Well, I'm a Yank, so I'm going to say pecan, my grandma, she would say pecan. Just have some pecan pie. But, in all reality, I mean, you say how to tell you it is. It's the same damn nut. And it's really good pie. It's really good pie. And it's a really good rub. I like that rub. So, yeah, get involved. And other than that, let's go back to my channel talk, because I'm like a shiny button guy. So, Eric, I see you have a created playlist, and you have 56 of them in there. Let's try to break that out a little bit, but good job, buddy. I mean, you started a playlist. Bryan, you need to do a little bit more on yours, because just go into your settings. If you need a link, I have a link or check out Nick Neems, I want to say his name is. He does a really good tutorial on how to break that all out. It's really nice. So Nick Nimes or something, he's all part of that Video IQ, Tube Buddies, and all those same crews. So Brian Johnson and all that. All the super nerds that make videos that I watch. My grandma had it right. Yeah, pecan. So, but she's a big old stubborn German, but beautiful lady, and had 2 pensions. I'm very proud of my grandmas. They were both school teachers, and then my one grandma decided that that's it. I'm going to go be a social worker and change the world. She did a pretty good job. And I'm not slamming other people's freaking channels, Russell. I'm trying to help them out, because there is some cool little stuff that I know. Okay? I don't live in the woods, you see, like you, and get all these big bull elks and stuff like that, so you can like clickbait everything on your videos. I got to put like a chunk of meat out there for somebody to watch. Ain't easy. But I do want to take a little moment too and thank Oklahoma Joe's for sending me the Rider DLX. That's pretty cool. It's been a good rig. I thank all of you guys. I think a lot of you guys probably watched it. So my little fun little unboxing, and I do owe that video to Johnny from View to a Grill, because he's the one that talked me into it. I'm just not an unboxing guy. When I watch those videos, they bore me. I want to fall asleep. So I tried as hard as I could to entertain people and keep it moving. And Jake is in the chat right now, and he helped me. It was fun to get him. He's a really good friend of mine, and my neighbor Dan was over there. He just got home. He works at a fiberglass company, and he just got home. He's like, I'm all dirt. I said, I don't care. Get over here. So, but yeah, so it was fun, and I did enjoy that video, and I do have to say that thanks, Johnny. So, all right, Kevin. Well, I think it's almost your time, and you're going to get the phone call. So the dreaded phone call to come on. So prepare yourself, like my principal used to tell us all the time. Prepare yourself. So get ready, and I'm going to give you a jingle, bud, as soon as I can open it up and figure out what I'm doing. And where did it go? There it is. All right, so let's get Kevin on the line. All right, we've got him hooked up.
Hey, can you see me all right?
We can see you fine, buddy. How you doing tonight, man? Thanks for coming in.
My pleasure. Big thanks to you and Charlie for setting this all up.
You bet, bud. No problem. So I'm just kind of aligning things here, Kevin, but I know you. We're in a couple little group chats together, and I've kind of gotten to know you in the past couple months and stuff like that, but not everybody in the chat knows you. So take a little bit moment. Tell us about yourself. Tell us about your family. Tell us about whatever you want to share with us, and I'll give the throne right over to you, my friend. Go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Jeff. It's so weird. In all our chats, I see you as Ricer, but to me, you're Jeff. I don't know why. It just
No, that's okay. I go by both. I go by both. That's all good. On this show, it's fine. I mean, in person or in the street, you can call me whatever. Just don't call me late for dinner, is what my dad used to always say. So, it's all good. So
Perfect.
Go ahead. Jeff is fine, bud.
So, my channel all originated because I got a Christmas gift from a coworker, and it was a sous vide. And I always sent my friends pictures, like 1,000 pictures a weekend. And my daughter, who's 13 now, she was making her own YouTube videos. And I was like, you know what?
Impressive.
Why don't I just make YouTube videos with her? Because she wasn't going to sit down and watch football with me, which, I was hoping, come on, watch football with me. But she wasn't going to do it. So I had to change and watch what she was interested in. And that's kind of what evolved our channel. And I want it to be different. I wanted to say, like, is sous vide real? Does it matter if I cook it this way or this way? And then I just decided, you know what, let's take it from sous vide to Traeger versus Weber. Should I put seasoning on? Should I not? This is what keeps me up at night. My brain is rattling with these, did I do that right? Did I do it right?
Right.
And I watch these big channels, and these big channels are like, everything's amazing. And after a while, I was like, everything can't be amazing. It's just not possible.
Yeah.
So there's got to be either lying to me or they're lying to everybody, and I can't take it anymore. So that just morphed into my channel. I am not a chef. Yeah. I am learning from YouTube. I am learning from my friends on YouTube, which is the best community on the planet, hands down, this cooking community. And I'm just enjoying it. I'm having fun with it. I talked to a big channel the other day. You want to know why my channel was set up that you were just showing? I talked to a big channel. He talked to me for an hour on the phone. It was awesome. You talked to me a night before for an hour and a half, giving me all this insight. What a community. And that's why my page was set up that way. Is I talked to a channel over 50,000 subscribers, and he's like, look, set your page up like this. And for an hour, he just talked to me. Who does that? Who's got the time?
Well, that's, I mean, like, I don't want to ever say anything that I'm in competition with anybody on YouTube, because I'm not. I'm only in competition with myself to be better every single time that I do something. So to spread some little love to somebody that maybe you found a little secret or something like that, that's what we should be doing. Well, I mean, absolutely. Because we all kind of grow from each other, because if you learn something, well, for me, maybe you'll tell me something, so I learned something, and nobody should be feeling that they're an expert, but some of us in the YouTube part of it, and I haven't been doing this very long, but trust me, I've been on YouTube since 2008, so I know how things work. But that channel, you can't get nothing off from, because that thing's all copy striked and all shot down. But when you have a guy that's 50,000 strong talking to you, it makes you feel good that you are right, that this is a really friendly community. So good. I'm happy that. But yeah, I saw that today, because that was my little thing, my little YouTube. Like, I try to do every show is like give a little YouTube thing, and you had it done. So congratulations, man. Good job.
Thank you.
So now, family-wise, you're married, and you've got how many kids?
Two little ladies. Little ladies that are double trouble.
Double trouble. Nice. And
so and like I said, that was part of the reason for the show to, kids nowadays, they're not as much, let's go shoot something out in the woods. If your kids are like that, that's awesome. That's the way I grew up. But our kids now are stuck behind their computer screens watching YouTubers. Right, and I said to myself, what a better way to connect with the kids by creating a channel, getting them involved so they scratch that itch instead of doing it behind your back and you don't know what they're doing. Instead, they're doing it with you. They see how much work, and as much work as they see me put into it, they no longer want to be YouTubers.
Yeah, I agree with you, because like my boys were always telling me, I'm going to be a video game Twitcher and I'm going to be twitching and all this stuff. And I said, well, when I start my channel, you're going to see the work that goes behind it. And now they both still have like, hey, I would like to do this, but they both agree it has a lot of work. This isn't just, you know, I mean, they still think that playing video games would be so much fun and Twitch or live stream for like 24 hours. And I'm like, good luck. You know, you better start blowing shit up on the television set when you're doing this, because it's a mess out there for competition or like view time, you know. So, but that's cool that they're helping you. But now they realize this. But when they get a little bit older, one might become interested in a hobby that she can share, and the other one might become interested in another hobby that they can share, because really YouTube is how to. And that's how it all started. Yes. So it's cool that that you're at least making them be a part of it. So nice. So now the channel. Now, how old is your channel now? Are you? How many months? How many years? How many weeks? Or so have you been doing it?
Just made me do math. 14 months. Yeah.
14
months.
Hit
14 months. Yep.
Okay. Well, good. So, and you're right on, you're just like Eric, you're right on that cusp of becoming that 1,000 subscriber mark, you know.
You know what's crazy is I'm like about to break, probably in the next 48 hours, the 4,000 hours.
Oh, nice.
But subscribers, for some reason, like, I hope that doesn't like portray I'm not likable enough, but maybe it does. Maybe I need to change my profile a little. But yeah, subscribers. I saw a metric going by in the chat earlier: 60% subscribers or 60% non-subscribers. My number is like 90, and I think that's part of my own fault. In my earlier videos, I was trying to answer questions like, if I do a cook this way versus this way. But I didn't tell them the production wasn't there to say, I want to subscribe to this person.
Okay.
My energy wasn't there.
Are you telling them to subscribe? Are you saying, like the channel, give thumbs up, subscribe?
I am now, but when you look back a year ago at my most popular videos that broke, small numbers, still 10,000, but views, I got 2 of them, but they were like questions people had on, should I marinate it this way? Should I marinate it this way? How do I turn a $5 steak into a $30 steak? You know, those are the videos people are like searching.
Right.
And production back in the day, I had an older phone. Still haven't gotten. I talked to you about the camera. We're gonna get there.
Yep.
But it's now I'm starting to like finally put all the pieces in play that make a difference.
Well,
but it starts with you.
Go ahead.
Taking the small steps.
Well, from like watching like some of your later videos and all that, you're good on camera, so that's not the issue. So I think it is a wise decision to upgrade some equipment, because I think you'll find out that shooting off an iPhone or Android phone or anything like that, you can do it. You can do it. Now, it really boils down to your editing software and your editing platform that you're using more than the actual thing that's shooting it. Now, again, I'm going to go back to audio is very important, very, very important. But if you can get your video to be easier to transport, is probably the biggest reason. Because when I first started out, I had three iPhones that I used for filming. I could have a million different angles. But it sucked. It sucked to transfer the files into my iMac. It sucked. Everything that I was doing sucked.
Absolutely.
I mean, AirDrop or whatever is a really cool feature. It's really, really cool, but it just kind of sucks. So what I'm trying to tell you is that I think you're on the right track, like looking at a new camera. And if you want, we can talk about other things, but Russell right away thinks I was going to pick on you and slam your channel, but I'm going to actually say that everybody that I've had on here has been really good. There's just always little things that, everybody needs to share with each other, really. And, like your brisket cook was really good. Your 60-day one, and it didn't work the way you wanted to, and you're like frustrated. My buddy Jake is in the comments right now, and he did a brisket flat yesterday, his first brisket ever, and it dried out on him. Well, he just ended up running it a little bit too long. That type of crap happens, and that's why we all do it. But You got good production, man. So maybe
Thank you.
you get another video that lands, you'll be right there, But the 4,000 hours is harder than the 1,000 subscribers. So you are kind of on that other side of the pendulum, because like Pickles is in there. He's got 1,000 subscribers, but he doesn't have some videos that are producing. So you have a couple videos that are your backbone. And I always try to tell everybody, 30 out of 30 videos, you should have one video out of every 30 videos that is kind of the lead. It doesn't have to be like, we aren't Malcolm Reeds and we're not Sam the cooking guy, but it's your lead. So you're doing good there, What so you live in like an island, I think, right? Something like that?
Yes. And I'm going to start portraying that a little more once the weather gets nicer and we're not on lockdown.
Yeah. Yeah. Because like I think a little bit of B-roll in there with, some of your area might be attractive for some of your cooks. I mean, you can't put a lot of it in there. I've learned that. Yeah. That if you put too much of that crap in there, people are bored and they're like, I just got you to watch the cook, because really that's what we are. We're a cooking community. Yeah. So, like Russell's in here, Russell's stuff is about nature in different outdoor shots. I mean, if he sat there and cooked beans in his microwave chicken wings that he does all the time, and that's what he did in every video, he ain't going anywhere. But with him being able to show like elk bulls and stuff like that, and maybe that he saw a fox print or something, that's popular, But no, so tell me kind of what because Sevilla is cool. I think it's cool. I have one. I have an A-Nova. But tell me what kind of your 5 or 6 different things that you like to cook the most with it, even when you're not doing a video, not a comparison video or anything like that. What are you guys throwing in the pot all the time?
So honestly, sous vide has become the default. I'm not a sous vide fanboy. I do like a charcoal grill steak, but I have to admit, all the experiments, if you went back and watched all my videos from last year, and the friends I had over, they all bought sous vides late November to cook all their food for the holidays for their family. But once again, I do think sometimes you just got to throw it over a fire pit. So I'd say sous vide is probably the top. However, I'm starting to do less and less videos on sous vide because I just find it more interesting to do Weber versus Traeger or just over open fire. So sous vide for taste, ultimately, that's my default. That's my safety net. Weber and Traeger are hand in hand, neck and neck. Mm-hmm. And then I just have an open fire pit. I like to cook in too.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So that's pretty much sums it up. That's how my family's eating. So
like if I said to you that I want you to be like the sous vide barfly, would you still be interested in that, or do you want to quit doing the sous vide stuff? Because I am looking for a sous vide guy that's going to come in and tell people about new sous vides and different types of equipment for it. So are you going to stick with it, or are you going to – okay. All right.
Oh, absolutely. It's like I said, it's my default. It's my safety net. When we're having parties now and I have to cook for people and we're doing rib roast, prime rib roast, or anything that costs more than $100 – it's going in the sous vide.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. It's because like I still throw it on the fire, but I've thought about that a few times, and I've watched some of the sous vide guys out there, and we know a couple of them, and the it's like, should I just do it this way? God, should I just do it this way? Or
So that's where my channel kind of came into play too, is like, all right, I have a 1-inch steak. Should I just throw this on the grill? Absolutely. Right. Now, if you have a 2.5, 3-inch thick cut, you should sous vide it, or you should reverse sear it. Otherwise, you're eating real raw meat. But some of the things I see on those channels where all they do is sous vide, it's like, come on, what are you doing? You're wasting everybody's time. You sous vide for like 48 hours. Potatoes. Cook the potatoes. Right. So that's where I have a big disconnect with the sous vide community. It's like, all right, stop cooking vegetables. Like, just cook your vegetables. It's So yeah.
You're doing it for the meat, the quality meat part of it. And I like you have a few friends that when I showed them this thing, they're like, my God, this, you just really, if like a vacuum packed bag and you throw it, yeah. I bring it up to like 128 or so, and I get the frickin' charcoal. I usually a lot of times do mine just on top of the charcoal chimney. I put a rack up there and I just crisp her right up, and they're like, it's that easy? I said, yeah, so a lot of those people like your friends too have gone that route because it is cool. I think what you should start looking at is maybe some different brands, some different civis. Now that's some cost in your pocket, you have to purchase some of them damn things, but it's a good, you can compare this one to that one or options and stuff,
Well, what's funny is I recently heard that, so I cook all mine pretty much ribeyes, New York strip at 132 to 130 degrees. For me, that's perfect medium rare at 2 hours.
Yep.
And I have so many friends on Facebook that cook at like 128 degrees. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, it's still rare. I like rare, but the texture hasn't changed. There's a texture change that happens.
Right.
But there was an article recently on Reddit that said like 137 will blow your mind. So I called up my two buddies that bought sous vide for Christmas for themselves because they bought sous vide for Christmas for themselves.
Yeah.
And coronavirus hit. So I was going to borrow their sous vides and we were going to do 3, 128 degrees, 133, and then 137 and figure out what's the best temperature for steak. But I agree with you. On that line, I want to compare brands and
the different temperatures.
Borrow it from my friends.
Yeah, I because I really crisp out that outside on there. So when I've gone up to that 130-ish degrees, I end up like getting into that more of that medium part. It's still very tender.
Yeah.
But I get up into that 140-ish, right below 140, and I want that to come out at about 135 if I can. You know what I mean, and stay in there.
Yep.
When I do the sous vide part. Now, when you're on a grill, well, flip a coin, man. If you don't check your temperature right away, and that's one of the great things about sous vide. And I think you keep running that because you got some pretty cool stuff there. And with your doing a little testing with that dry age stuff, that's pretty nice too. I need to do that myself, but I just don't have the patience to sit there and look at that in the refrigerator. It drives me crazy.
The first one's your toughest. Yeah. Getting through the first one, keep it short, 28 days, because you're looking at it, drooling at it every day.
Yeah.
And then once you get through your first one, you're like, all right, I'll get to the next one.
Right. So with the corona and living on an island, all right, island. What do you guys? I mean, how's the groceries and how's all the regular lifestyle? Yeah, you're locked in, but how's the lifestyle there? Is it tough, or what do you got going on?
So we're definitely a social island. Like it's Coronas and partying on boats is a good bit of our lifestyle.
Yeah,
a lot of backyard barbecues, a lot of backyard parties, alleyway parties. So it's definitely affected us that from a social aspect because we are a social community. But our grocery stores were holding strong until this weekend.
Okay.
The shelves looked like, something was a little off at the beginning of the week. And then we stocked up. I bought a cow at the end of the season so we're good on beef. And we're like, you know what, let's just avoid all the craziness. And now we're going to buy cows every single year. But anyway, our neighbor just said that the grocery store was like crazy when he went there. Just the shelves empty. Yeah, just a lot you see. So I'm hoping to go like Tuesday morning at like 3 a.m. or something like that, or like Thursday when new shipments come.
Well, so now you kind of told. Well, I think. I think you got a little bit of a stock, but you don't have everything that you want. So hopefully, the trucks get over there and get you some more, and you're going to be standing in line. Are you guys in the line deal where it's only 10 in, or is
not yet? But we have a lot of friends and family that are in the medical community and government because we're so close to DC. We heard that Maryland's going to shut down. is the latest rumor that I heard from a lot of sources. So we could be there. And, the way my family is, we're just like, you know what, we're ready to hunker down and just eat what's in the freezer.
Yeah.
We don't need to stand in the line and do crazy.
Right.
But some people, we're blessed for sure. Thank God we got the cow this year just for shits and giggles. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Well,
I hope I was allowed to say that.
No, yeah, no, that's all good. And you're right. You made a good choice, and maybe at that moment you're like, well, should we? Well, yeah, why not? And then here you go. Now you got meat in the freezer, and that's important, Yeah. So out of your cookers, what's your favorite one? What's your favorite cooker?
I would say it's not even mine. It's one of my best friends. He's got Meadow Creek. It's a towable smoker.
Yes, I know.
And that thing is every time I get my hands on it, he'll let me borrow it anytime.
Okay.
And it's just, no matter what, you put a full pig on there or you put brisket on there, it is just a brisket factory. It is, perfect pig. Like, everybody's like, Traeger, you hit a button and you walk away. No, you stoke this thing with wood, you walk away, and you're having like competition barbecue. Right. But after hearing your friend Bryan on earlier, who I need to watch more of because, that's legit. Yeah, he had a lot of good points about getting to the next level. You think you're there, and then you go competition, and you're like, oh boy, I am not there.
Right,
so,
right.
But that Meadow Creek though, that gives you an edge.
Yeah. Well, now, are they made in Pennsylvania, if I'm thinking correctly? Are they made in Pennsylvania?
I'm not completely sure because when I looked them up, it was like $8,000 just to like get your hands on one. I was like, I don't need to know where this is from. Might have been like Illinois. I don't know.
Okay. No, I think they are. Dash would know because Dash has one.
Yeah,
but he's got the grill part, So. Hey, Joe, I want to say real quick, hey, Joe's Barbecue, thanks, Joe, for coming in, man. I really appreciate it. I know you get up really early, so have a good one, buddy. Turn your mic gain. All right. Yeah, I'm sorry if I'm talking a little lighter. Sorry, guys. I am extremely tired, too, tonight, but all right. So that would be a good cooker for you to look at, though, really. The outdoor grill like that, or even like a Santa Maria or something like that too. You could do some fun cooks on that, bud.
It's funny you mention that. We're probably going to do a big backyard build and make an outdoor kitchen, patio, all that stuff. And I've been looking at these Santa Marias. I've been looking at these Argentine style grills, and my buddy that has the Meadow Creek. I was like, you weld, right? I want to build a personal smoker, personal Argentine style grill, and a Santa Maria style grill, and see if we can't form those two together. Where you have a rotisserie spit, and then you have the lever, the circle, the wheel that brings it up and down. And I'm like, I want the best of both worlds,
Combine them. If Dog was still in here, I bet you the Backline Fabrications. I bet you he could throw something like that together for you, down in Texas there. But so, what do you want to see out of your YouTube channel? I mean, what's your goal to see out of the YouTube channel?
First goal is obviously the 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours, which I'm there, but I am in a process of really trying to, I see the way you present. I love the way you present. It cracks me up, and it's fun. It's entertaining. It's not just cooking. It is a good time. And I need to, for my professional life, I kind of hinder myself because I'm a, advisor. I have to be very the market does this. And I need to let go of that and just have fun and show my true colors. So it's kind of breaking out of that shell. I would love to just, I don't know. There's so much going on. For my channel, what I really want to happen is I only want to produce stuff that nobody else is doing. Or maybe other people are doing, but it's like,
you haven't.
I want to answer questions.
Yeah.
I don't want to show you how to cook broccoli. There's 1,000 channels that do that. I want to answer questions. I want to be thought provoking.
Mm-hmm.
And even if I get a ton of negative comments, I don't care. I want to do something original. So that's pretty much what I'm looking to do in a nutshell.
Well, so like, because you're the comparison cooking, you're comparing and cooking and stuff like that. I think that's good that you are looking into, because that's what you named your channel. And you are an analytics type of guy, I think, from the little bit that I know you. Maybe you need to spend some time and put together some like YouTube like analytics stuff to help everybody out. Maybe you got to start an app or something, bud. I don't know. Can you do something like that?
I played around with that. Like I had a very successful Instagram giveaway.
Okay.
And then I did a short video, and dude, it got no views. It was like, nope, this isn't your lane. Stay in your lane. You are the weird cooking dude, so stay in that lane. So.
Okay. Well, because like I know that you did mess around with a little bit of the app stuff and did some things and put a lot of time into that, but maybe you could come up with some ways that you can analyze channel sizes compared to other people's channel sizes, you know what I mean, or like how they're growing or something like that, if you can do it, because you can go into Video IQ, you can go in there and like look at stuff, but you gotta type on this guy, and then it's just like to see where they're growing and how you're growing, and it's always fun to take your channel compared to same type of channel and see how you're doing, because some people are going to be crushing you and other people you're going to be crushing, and it's just it's just fun. So I don't know if you had buddies or something like that did that, or just you did it, but if you got some of that, I think there's some areas there for any YouTubers that are out there in the barbecue world to make it more of a barbecue friendly application that you can look on YouTube, because that's our hard part. We're not like the same as like video reviewing or camera reviewers and stuff like that, and that's completely different. So a lot of things are generated for these big people, makeup people and in clothing people and gamers, and I always feel like food community is huge, but we're kind of like left in the back a lot. I always think we're guys left in the back. Well, about time Smoking Joe steps in. God darn it. Yeah, I'm kidding you, Joe. Thanks for coming in, buddy. So are you gonna get any equipment for other than a camera for your stuff, or are you looking at some software, or wait till this Corona thing goes over and then we'll see what happens, or what are you kind of looking more for the other things to add to your channel?
Yeah, absolutely. I want to get, obviously, through all this crisis we're going through, but the first thing I really want to get, and for the iPhone, for me, it hasn't been compatible. Freaking microphone. So I might just get the microphone and the camera at the same time. But to me, my audio, when I listen to my own videos, is starting to drive me crazy.
Yeah.
And I think audio is super important. And my wife and I, we do a podcast together. But we also video it for Facebook, and when we do that, like, the audio is just driving me nuts. So I want to get my audio, video under control. That's kind of like my next 6 months kind of challenge to myself.
Well, I'll give you a little bit of a word of advice, because the more you dig into audio, the more crazier you get, because I do have pretty good audio. Now, not all the time our levels are perfect and stuff like that, but I literally spend on each video that I do, I'm not going to lie to you, it's about an hour and a half on all my audio editing. So once you get really crazy, but if you listen to my audio, it's not perfect. No, I don't have perfect audio, and that's why I go nuts, but it's still pretty good. So your main focus as a YouTuber is always get that mic close to your lips. And I got that from Dave Parrish he used to be Adrenaline Barbecue, but now he's Slow and Sear Grills. And Dave Parrish sent me a message. He goes, Jeff, your channel will blow up if you just buy a good lav mic. And that's what I did, and it did help a lot, because that tone was right next to me. Addressing your mic. It looks like right now that I might be right on top of this. Well, I'm about, that far away still from my mic, so but like when you get a lav on, it's right here. So all you YouTubers out there that don't have it and you're talking into your cell phone, the Boya lav mic is $20 and it can work in your cell phone and it can work on a DSLR or a mirrorless camera. So you're hooked to a string, but at least you have really good audio. So that's
So
good.
quick question about that.
Yeah.
Super quick question. So normally my other daughter, my wife, they'll be right next to me in the tasting. Does it pick up that, or do they need their own?
No, then you'd want to do a nice boom, like a little. I'm sorry, I put it away, but like a little Rode Micro.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, and you put it right up above, out of frame, right? So it'll pick everybody. You got to keep heads closer, but as long as everybody's kind of facing towards that mic, then it'll pick up good. So. Hey, holy cow,
Good.
Noob's in here too late. Jesus, God darn it, everybody's like coming in late. So, well, we're going to keep Kevin on a little bit longer. So how many videos have you made now in the past 14 months?
So I've made 50.
Okay.
Or, I don't know, maybe 55.
Around
but
50, okay.
Yeah, I was told, though, if you don't have, like my fish video just never took off. My chicken wings never took off. Anything non-beef never took off.
Okay.
I was told if they're not running and not getting views, you should put them on unlisted or private because of Google. I don't know if that's true. I heard that from a good friend, Tommy, over at the Gallery Backyard. He is an awesome friend. And, we were just bullshitting or BSing. Sorry.
Yeah. No.
Up at his place. And we were just talking YouTube, and he was like, yeah, if it's not hitting. So I just took it as,
I suggest you don't do a regular cook video as a unlisted. A live stream, this live stream will be up for a week or maybe a few days because like the last one is still up, or it was. I just haven't had time to do the cutting and do the individual interviews yet. But I suggest to you that you still leave it because you're still going to gain off from it. It might not do well for you, but you have other videos that are doing well. Not every video strikes gold. I mean, Malcolm Reed.
And that doesn't reduce your suggested for your other videos, you think?
For that video it will, but not all the rest of your videos, in my opinion.
Okay.
Malcolm Reed, the Malcolm Reed, like the godfather of videos, has one of the greatest videos that he made 7 years ago. And actually, John Solberg was in here earlier, and he sent it to me. And now think about this. That's Malcolm Reed that has 500,000 subscribers, and he has videos that have well over 1 million views. And he has a chicken thigh video that only has like 250,000 views on it. Now, you're saying, oh, it's 7 years old, and it's not great quality. The guy started just like all of us. But that is a really good video. I mean, it's a really, really good video. And so there you go. He still leaves it up. What is that? I mean, when his averages are, some of these longer videos are 500,000 views, and he still leaves a little 250,000 up. Well, I ain't killing him or anything like that. So I wouldn't look at like smaller video. I've got a small little scallop video that I did, and it's really funny video. I don't even know if it has 500 views yet, but oh well. There's not a lot of barbecuers looking for scallops, but the people that are trying to cook some scallops on a grill, they're gonna find that video. So just do a video, and if it works, it works. Some of them are gonna, some of them aren't. This is just how it is. Yeah, Joe's at 994,000. From getting 1 million subs. He has 994,000 more subs to get the 1 million. So keep pushing, Joe. You got this.
I'm pulling for you, Joe.
Yeah, right. So anything else you want to kind of leave us with tonight, or anything like that, or what your plans are?
Thing I'll leave everybody in the chat or everybody that comes across this is YouTube. Like, give me something to think about. Give me a challenge. Do something new. If you I'll just be straight blunt. If you want me to watch your video on how to cook up, just chicken, I know how to cook chicken.
Right.
Challenge me. Or if you are going to cook chicken, give me a story of why this is the best chicken in the world, or this is, a chicken from this area and you should give it a try.
Right.
Challenge yourself to make people think right off the bat, why am I watching this? Because I love to support everybody in the community. You guys are awesome. You're putting out, you're great cooks, but it is tough. Give my brain, where I'm so distracted by everything, give my brain something to, oh, wow, maybe I should look at how to cook, Santa Maria style chicken. Like, give me new. Give me fresh.
Yeah.
That's
And
what
I think you got a really good point there. Be you, but give you a story in your video. I mean, I've been told by a lot of people, a lot of like bigger cooker people, that they don't watch me because they want to learn how to make a freaking brisket. They're watching me because they want me to entertain them, and sometimes I entertain better than other times, that's okay. But they also say that you got to remember, if you're using a product and you're cooking a product, there's a lot of people that just bought this piece of equipment or something and they want to do it. So there's nothing wrong with, doing just a chicken wing video on this type of cooker, because there's a lot of people that, that are, that this are the first time. So, but I get your point. You're right. Like for you and me, we probably want to watch people that are, new views. Like everybody that's in this chat right now, I've watched all their videos. Not all of them, but I've watched their videos, and I enjoy their videos because I've become friends with all of them. But to find somebody new, entertain me a little bit or show me some cool little thing. You don't eat the chicken butt. You make it into gravy or something, So, but anyways. Well, good job, buddy. And I really, really hope, that you get up to this 1,000. If you're right there on the cusp of the 4,000, congratulations, because ask Charlie, that's harder to do than for him is the 4,000 hours of view time. And you've got a couple little gold mines in there that are getting your views. So maybe you got to do a part 2. You know what I mean? Maybe you got to do a part 2. And then part 2, you start saying, hey, welcome to the channel and become a subscriber or something like that. Say that, and if you, and I've noticed you in some of them, but you're right. If you don't say that, then you're not begging people. You're just prodding them to remember. They're not, and they can say, no, screw you. Or they'll say, yeah, I kind of like this. I'll become a subscriber. And it's not easy. It's not easy. We're all begging for view time. We all are. And the more people that come and do this, the more begging time that you have to do. Now, on the other end of it is there's a lot of people that have joined YouTube cooking videos that they do 5 or 6 videos and they're done. They say, I just can't do this because they thought it was going to be easy.
It's hard.
And it's not. It's hard. I mean, you need to know what you're doing. Now, there's like Eric is a prime example. Okay, prime example. I don't think he made a lot of videos, but he's just a fun guy. And then now he's starting to say, I got to get a little more creative. So he's getting a little bit more creative, and he's actually starting to become a YouTuber. And there is that little process that it takes all of us, and all of a sudden we become a YouTuber. I think you're there, Kevin. I really do. When I watch your videos, you're there. It might help you to get a better software program for your editing. It might help some of that type of stuff where you can juice it up a little bit. But you don't have to buy everything in one full swoop. You can one piece at a time. But you're there, dude. You're there, dude. Just now go get out there and beg. I mean, because you're on a couple of those communities. Facebook, Eric was talking about Facebook. There's guys that have told me, I don't post anything on Facebook because Facebook is evil. Well, okay, it maybe is evil, but I guarantee you're going to gain a few views off from sharing some of your stuff on Facebook. Maybe not a lot, but you know, whatever. And you join a couple of those groups like that you're in, yeah, share it. You know, you might get one subscriber a week, but that's one more subscriber that you didn't have that you went and shared. You know,
Absolutely.
I mean, I know
Absolutely.
most of the guys that I'm reading in here do share. I mean, I see their stuff and I give them a thumbs up, and then when it comes in my feed on my YouTube thing, I watch it. So yeah, but maybe you're there, man. You did the hard part first. You're one of the rare people that hit that hard part first. Now, when I became see, Johnny's like, Johnny from View to a Grill, Facebook is toxic. Well, Twitter's worse. Trust me. I've had 6 accounts in Twitter, so I know how toxic Twitter is. So
got ratioed.
I'm always out. I can't talk like a 1970s kid in that freaking Twitter. They ban me right away, you know. So, but
that's funny.
But really, like, you know, like myself, I became a subscriber, and then it wasn't more than a week that I had the 44,000. So I was right. I mean, it was just too weird how it was all right there. But like with you having that hard part, man, you're good. Just get out there, dump a couple new videos or even a couple old videos on some of these groups that you haven't been a part of. Put a couple of the old ones out there, and I think you'll be surprised. You'll be there. You'll be right there, man. So good luck to you, bud. All right.
Awesome. Thank you.
You bet. And when you're ready to talk a little you know, camera stuff and all that, send it my way. You know, Brian and I talked a little bit because like everybody has different learning curves too. You know, to go ahead and buy like a Sony A6400 like myself, not everybody can just grab that camera and start recording. I can.
Yeah.
I still had a little bit of a learning curve, but I can. You know, so we'll talk about that. And anybody that's in the chat, if they ever want to send me a message and say, hey, what do you think of this? I'm cool with that. I would love to help you get something that you can handle. You know, like with Eric, perfect camera for him, the first camera that he should be looking at because of his action and what he's doing. And he's not just sitting still and doing a lot of talking head stuff. The dude really needs to look at like a good GoPro with the media hookup, so he can put a mic on there and then eventually buy a nice wireless mic and stuff like that. Yeah, you know, that's what you're doing. So, well, anyways, bro, congratulations, you know, and I want you to, I'm going to invite you in as our sous vide guy, as our sous vide barfly. All right. So I don't want you. Okay. All right. I don't want you to run away from that whole thing because you know, I think there is a call for that, and as we grow on this channel, we're going to have more and more people that are kind of going to start to learn about some of this stuff, and because it's a cheated man's way, you know what I mean? I'm not going to lie to you, because whenever I'm cooking for a bunch of people coming over and I'm cooking steaks on, even if it's a beautiful day out, I'm throwing that tub full of ribeyes and that they're all ready, so I don't have to dink around and, you know, people talk. I just know it's just like a minute sear on both sides and then throw them in the freaking pan and all you can eat. Yeah. So good job, bro. All right.
Thank you.
Be safe. Take care of yourself and watch your family. All right. You're welcome.
You too. Everybody be safe out
buddy.
there.
You bet. Thanks, man.
Thanks.
Bye. All right, guys. Well, there we are. Kevin did an awesome job, and we have to make sure that we give him a round of applause. So let's all get our hands up again for Kevin. I want to thank everybody for coming in. I can go ahead and do a quick little pee break real quick, and that way I'll come back and finish up the show. You know, I drank too many beers. Yeah, well, let's do this one. Yes, it is copyrighted music, and Eric, but I have the license for it, so we're all good there. Wear a diaper. Yeah. Dang it. Well, I drank like 2 Mountain Dews. All right, so I'm going to be on the Barbecue Central show this weekend, or this Tuesday, and Greg was in here earlier, and I have to sing. All of us embedded correspondents have to sing on Tuesday, but we pre-recorded it. So, oh my God, it took me like 3 hours. I've never in my life made like an audio track of singing. I played in a band back in the 80s, but it was so freaking funny. And I'm like, oh man, do I suck? I mean, I just suck. And it'll be pretty funny on Tuesday night. We're all singing the Jailbreak song by Thin Lizzy, and I'm like, really, you guys, you're trying to really show your age. Yeah, Thin Lizzy from the Jailbreak song, Oh, and I'm like, I've heard that stupid song a million times in every movie. No way, Joe. I am not gonna, there's no way. Eric, I get my music from Audio Jungle. There's Epidemic Sounds and stuff like that I've been kind of thinking about transforming into. Those songs would be like, as long as I have the subscription, then you have the subscription, and then you can use whatever songs you want to. With Audio Jungle, you purchase that one song, and you do risk like they could sell the copyrights, and you might have to buy that song again. Now, it hasn't happened to me. I have been copyright stricken, but then I contact the artist and say, "Hey, dude, I'm getting striked here." Once you get, I should back up a little bit. I've been copyright striked. And then I send YouTube my license, and then they wipe it out. Well, then I got the same damn song. Well, this guy was just, getting crushed. It's a song at the end of every one of my videos when I do my bloopers and all that. And I contacted him, and he was kind enough to write YouTube a letter or an email and say, hey, this guy's okay. He has a license. So it's a little dinking around, but that way I have that song all the time. And I don't have to pay the $30 or $20 or $15 or whatever subscription it is for Epidemic Sound. But I do like Epidemic Sound, and they got really cool things, and you'll never get copyrighted, so they say, with them. I don't think it's really a bad thing if you want to buy a couple songs that you always use. A lot of my music that I get, I use from my Apple Final Cut Pro. Okay, I have Final Cut Pro. There's in GarageBand, and there's all these sounds and sound effects that are already pre-built into those programs. So yeah, half of my songs are just freebies that are part of the software. So odd band from the 70s. Yeah, Thin Lizzy. Yeah, and they had like the boys are back in town. Oh, my camera might be like screwing up here. So there's like a little bit of stuff like that you could do and look at. It is easier. Yeah, Thin Lizzy. I didn't even know the frickin' words to it. And how do you sing a song and you don't even know the lyrics? Like there's going to be a fight, or I can't even think of it now because I had to learn the song in a couple minutes. But yeah, we're having like the American Idol for us guys or something like that. And it's like, oh my God, really, dude? Greg comes up with some wild stuff. So it'll be fun. It'll be embarrassing. I'm going to be very embarrassed. I think all of us are. I don't know if Doug is really too thrilled about doing this from the way I heard. Yeah, the boys are back in town. So... But yeah, so music, Eric, that's what I would suggest. And you get them, and then they'll email you the file, or you download it, and then you get the copyright license, and you keep that in a folder, and you keep that forever. So that way, if you get YouTube will send you a copyright strike email, you then say no way, a-hole, and then you send their crap back. Tonight there's gonna be a jailbreak. Yeah, that's pretty much what it was. So, but then you just put that email and you copy the license number and all that, and you send it to them, and then it's in a matter of like an hour they remove it. Now with the corona, and they only got like 4 people sitting in a desk like checking everybody's like videos that they're posting, it might take a little longer for you to get that done, but. I only have one song that ever gave me a headache, and it's a pretty popular song, and he put a strike into all of YouTube because he had a bunch of people pirating it from Spotify, I think is where it was coming from. So yeah. Any other questions for me tonight before I pack it in? Just play Cowbell. Dun 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 dun. We all know that song. Probably one of the most famous cowbell songs in the world, right? Now, I put this YouTube live on today at a not the normal latency, a low latency. So I'm wondering did it change anything out there for you guys that are Mississippi Queen. It sounds good, Joe. Thanks for stopping in, buddy. We'll see you on Tuesday. Perfect. So did you guys notice anything in the quality? Was anything a little different? Charlie, the new grill is doing great. I have punched a ton of protein through it. I didn't even share everything that I did on Instagram on it, but very happy with it. Yeah, pecan, #pecan. I like it. It's a pretty nice grill. I'm going to tell you that I think a lot of backyard barbecue people that are looking for a very versatile grill, I think this is it. I mean, I think it's so far so good. I am pretty impressed with that sear plate. It's just ginormous. It's huge. It's just huge. It's massive, and I'm going to talk to the manufacturing plant manager of the rider this week, because there's you have smoking settings, and then you have okay, good. Thank you, Johnny. The smoking settings, and you have the grilling settings, but then you have these other 3 little presets that you click, and it gives you 3 different readings. And I'm like, well, okay, am I actually running this at 700? We had it to 750 some degrees, and then only got a picture at 727. But and then you click on the next, it says 500 some. So I'm wondering, does that mean like right on top of it, this is the next rack and this is the next rack? How it's measuring it, I'm not sure, but. Wow, that thing is hot. I ain't kidding you. Wow. I mean, it's crazy, crazy hot. So, yeah, I don't know. I think so far, Charlie, I'm really pleased with it. So, yeah, I mean, the whole steaks, because of my 4-minute aside brainwashed mind for years, I've always done kind of a 4-minute aside. Flip it over, and then when you got that backside, you're kind of looking at it, well, okay, it's been about 2 minutes, let's check and see our internals, and the same old. I went a minute and a half per turn, and then flipped it over, and I only did 1 minute, and then I checked, and it was like overdone. So yeah, I think this thing is just a scorcher, but it's fun. It's pretty fun. So we're going to start, my next video is a burn off. I'm going to start editing this tomorrow, and excited to start putting that together. The whole sticker thing that I talked about today, or in the video that was posted today, was a nightmare. It was a freaking nightmare for me. The other ones came off with ease. I didn't want to start the grill up and heat up that stupid sticker in the inside. So I took out a razor blade. Big mistake. And then I actually took a cold chisel and got a hairdryer and took a cold chisel, and then, I guess a wood chisel, and then start peeling it off. And it was like, knew that was probably what I was going to have to do, but I was hoping that I could just get a part of it. Sometimes you get a part and yay, championship. So, but yeah. Pecan is what Red did when he got drunk. Let's see, he peed in a can. Yeah, well, yeah, I like I say, like around here, can I have a piece of pecan pie? We always say pecan. But pecan, it's just like, yeah, to me, I'll say it once in a while, but I don't mean to. But it's like we always say, can I have a piece of pecan pie? So it's always kind of pecan. Yeah, no, it's okay, Johnny. I mean, it worked good. It really, really did work good. Yeah, right. It was free. I mean, it was just, I was trying to make something really funny too. I had really great, funny little things, but they're not going to work in the video. So I'll have to try to recreate those eventually, because there was hilarious. Some of the stuff I was saying, about that I met this Ukrainian gypsy and she taught me this little remedy for removing stickers. And I was like, I failed. So but I do say something. Well, when all else fails, grab a wood chisel and a hair dryer. So, but I did talk to the rep, and he told me that they knew about this and they did change it. Just the one that I got was, in that earlier production. So not a big deal. So it was all fun. I hope all of you guys are safe out there, this week. I will admit that I am like running on complete adrenaline the last few days. I have been up for going to bed at like 2:30 or something like that in the morning, because I've just been very, very, very active. And 2:33, I actually went to bed on Thursday night, I think at like 3:30 in the morning, and got up at 6. So I have been very, very like just running pure adrenaline. So tonight, if I was a little sleepy, because my wife hollered at me when I took my pee-pee break that, you're not showing your emotion. Well, I'm sorry. I mean, I don't want to just sit there and scream at people. I'm listening. I want to have but our guest did a really good job tonight. Everybody was awesome. I really appreciate it. Next week we have Keith and Kevin Bevington. Keith is they're twin brothers, and I've become pretty good friends with Keith. He's done a little bit of barbecue competitions in his past, and Kevin is, if you guys don't know him, a lot of you guys might know him, might not, but he is in the Florida's competition Hall of Fame is. But he also is the guy that invented the outdoor cooking channel. So both those guys are going to be on. And then we have James from Aim and Claim's Barbecue. So that'll be a fun show too. So that's right. I know, Jake. I have to remember that my wife is always right. But yeah, and it was cold that day. And like Jake's like this little, you guys, clothes on. He's like, oh, I'm so cold. And there I am, like, the Viking blood is running through me, and I've got just a t-shirt and my little pullover on. It's called training, Jake. But in Jake's defense, he works in a foundry, so it's always really hot in there. So those guys that work in foundries, they don't like the cold. They don't like that sitting out there chopping wood type of weather. But yeah, so I'm excited to get those guys on. We'll run both Keith and Kevin at the same time. Keith is a very entertaining guy. He plays bass guitar for rock bands, and he's pretty been... I'm going to let you go to bed pretty soon, Johnny. But I just want to... Keith plays guitar or bass guitar for a rock band still, and he's getting a little up there, and a lot of his concerts were all canceled, and he's been cooking in the backyard, and Pretty funny guy. He's very talkative. And then there's Kevin that's a little bit quieter. So, I think we got the yin and yang combination going there on next week. So, be exciting to bring those guys on, and also obviously James. So we got a lot of guys that do like the competition stuff that are coming through here, and I think it's cool to like have those guys be a part of the show, because that is a part of the barbecue world that I'm not very familiar with. I can be honest with you when I say that I'm not very, very familiar with barbecue competition. It never ever entered my brain because I was always doing other type of competition stuff, being a baseball coach or playing sports myself or football coach, whatever I was doing. So bass players only need one string. A little bit of truth there, Brian. And thank you, Brian, for joining in, buddy. The barbecue life right now is probably a little dampened for a lot of people. I think everybody should be getting more views. I certainly am. I can say that my views are up, but it's also starting to warm up a little bit. But hopefully people sitting at home, hanging out with their family, they're like, let's just grill something, and like, hey, I want to do something different. You guys, I hate cooking brats all the time. We went, like Kevin in here, he bought a cow, and maybe he has a couple chunks in there that he isn't really sure. Some of these other guys, not Kevin, but you know what I mean. And my one buddy he's like gives me all the short ribs every time he gets a cow. He's like, I don't know how to cook them. I'm like, thank you. I'll take those. They're delicious, dude. So, but yeah. So guys, you all be safe, and this will pass us by. I don't have any views. But this will go by us, and we won't have to worry about this crap anymore. I think, if we can just at least, you bet, Eric, if we can just get through the next couple of weeks or so, hopefully this will start to slow down. I'm hoping. I really do think it's smart that we're closing a lot of things off, because if people are all going into the theater still and watching a movie and, watching the new Batman and Boy Blunder video and sneezing all over each other, it's just going to spread even worse. So, let's just hope that maybe we can breeze by this in the next couple weeks, or at least get more, used to it, and it doesn't get even worse. So let's just hope for it. It's been really weird. Yeah. Like Pickles just said, it's been a slow and weird week. And I agree with you, man. And it's just like, man, and I'm trying to make phone calls for my job. I have to negotiate with people and meet with them and hang out with them, and they don't answer the phone because they're like, I don't want no telemarketer right now. I'm going to get a respiratory, disease, and if I talk to you on a microphone, or speaker is going to get me infected. So yeah, I think it's going to just suck for a while. So hopefully everybody's got a little bit. Yeah, I'm hoping and praying too, buddy. I'm hoping and praying that it was just a couple of weeks, and then maybe things will just loosen up a little bit, and we can at least maybe have some type of a normal thing. Maybe they still have a curfew on stores or something, because I'm really worried about all the people that are out there that are going to be losing their jobs. I have a couple good friends that, in 3 weeks, their company told them they're going to put them on unemployment. They are going to cover some of their medical costs and stuff, but they said they can only do that for so long. So we can't have this drag out. We can't, so hopefully it gets better. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with being a little bit more boisterous. That's true, Johnny. In little actions, and talk with your hands. I always try to tell everybody is just be yourself, but take yourself and slap yourself a couple times, and then get in front of the camera. And I said it right on the hot seat. I think I said, sometimes you gotta just pinch your nutsack a little bit, get yourself going. Because you can really be good on the camera and explain everything and really talk and go through the whole spiel. But you have to have life in yourself too. And I can tell by myself, I don't have as much life tonight as I typically do, but who does every single day? Gosh, But on your videos that are going to be evergreen, that is important to make sure that you're like, okay, Ricer, let's go. I haven't really hit that wall on my videos because I do enjoy doing the video part. And I do enjoy doing this too. And the interview thing, I'm new at it. But the get the whole, to make that show like some of these guys can. I'm maybe not going to be there every single day. But I think we had a great show today. I like it when people like just wind them up and they talk. It's like the chattering things on there. And all three guys did pretty good job talking about themselves. So, all right, man. We're gonna close this shop up tonight. We ran way late. But hey, what else we're gonna do? I do have to go and have my little appointment at the freaking county to look at a couple land records. An appointment for a freaking land record thing. God, you gotta be kidding me. Who'd have thought that? But good night, everybody. Be safe. Wrap some like tissue paper around your face if you're going out in public, But be good. Thanks, Craig. I appreciate it. Decent show. So I'm really happy with it, and I think we had a good turnout again. And I'm very happy with all the turnouts that we're getting. So see you later, Adam. Thanks, man. Thanks. And you guys, check out Adam's stuff, and darn it, In Your Mouth Barbecue, you have to tell me your name real quick again, buddy. I am sorry that I keep on, forgetting your name. I will learn it. Trust me. Might be an old dog, but I do learn new tricks. So, good night, Terry. Thanks, man, for always commenting on my videos lately. I really appreciate it. So, later, Richard. Have a good night. Be good. Yeah, they were great. They were good. They make my job easy for not being an interviewer. And we were lucky that we had Greg in here. And I'm not going to kid you, from the Barbecue Central show, because he was in here. You see that he knew exactly what was going on. Toby. Okay, Toby. Well, nice to meet you, man. It was great to have him in there because that guy knows audio more than anybody in the whole wide world. And it was so cool because you could tell he knew what was going on. He knew right away. So lots of experience there. So I really appreciate Greg for hanging out with us for a while. So you guys, I'm going to say that, Tuesday night, come over. I'll be on the last part of the show on the Barbecue Central show. We are going to try again to throw it through my channel. So I'm excited. Hopefully it works this time. We'll see. So we're going to try it again. And then remember Johnny Maggs' show. Remember Owl's Nest and Dash's show. Dash is on Wednesday. Steve's show from the Owl Nest Barbecue is before the hot seat. Then get over to the hot seat. And, there's other guys on there too. Charlie's on sometimes. Daddy Dutch is on Saturday mornings a lot of times, or Sunday mornings. So try to help everybody out on their live streams. Eric, if you see him live, you have to join him because he's going to have a party. There's going to be some type of party in there for sure with him. So you guys have a great, wonderful night and take care. And I'm praying for all of us. All right. So hopefully I have a new video up too by Thursday. I will have the Tavern Talk stuff come up. So there'll be multiple ones of them, unfortunately, because I had no time. So, all right, guys, I'm going to put out the intro and, listen to it because it actually is pretty funny. It's actually hilarious. And I owe my buddy John for helping me out with this part. So.
It's closing time. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Thank you so much for joining Ricer on Barbecue Tavern Talk. Before you go, make sure you hit that thumbs up or hit the thumbs down. Leave a comment, subscribe, hit the notification ringy bell. All of those YouTube things. Action figures sold separately. Batteries not included. If symptoms persist, seek medical attention. Only one per household. Call toll-free number before digging.
And yeah, my mic is still on.
Do not fold, spindle, or mutilate. Do not remove tag under penalty of law. Refrigerate after opening. In the unlikely event of a water landing, your seat cushion may be used as a flotation device.